I mean, Sam Fisher.
The games were way more masculine back then. This is absolutely true. Yeah.
Y'all are gay as... Stop! Oh my God! I can't do this! I love Sam Fisher. I love Splinter Cell, okay? I love Splinter Cell. It was an amazing game. I played that shit in my Gateway FX gaming laptop because before I went to college, I was a virgin and I had a gaming laptop, okay? But let's see, Who Killed Masculinity in Video Games, presented by Asmongold.
Does anybody else feel like masculinity has slowly been drained from modern video games?
Yeah,
I was looking at recent staff photos of Ubisoft and Halo Infinite developers, and it's all starting to make sense. It's a bunch of fat, white, liberal women and have no interest.
Can he say that? Can he say that? Can this guy say that? That's crazy. The answer is yes, he can, okay? The question is, should he? The answer to that is no. Oh, dude. Two guys peeking at masculinity, okay? Asmongold and this loser.
Interest in masculine, manly, male characters. They wouldn't even know how to write. This is why...
That's not... He's faking. There's no way that was that funny. Like, there's no way. There's no way he thinks that's peak comedy, please. Oh, my God. Ah!
Rockstar, a company founded by men that at least in 2018 was still mostly run by men.
I have a good counterpoint to this, is that Shadowbringers was written by a woman. So I actually don't think that it's entirely because of, it's not entirely because of women. I think it's like a cultural thing. Yeah, From Software as well. Yeah, it's an exception. It is an exception. I think so. And it makes sense, right? That men would be able to write better stories for other men. Yeah. Wow. What? Who could have thought?
And created the magnum opus Red Dead Redemption 2, a game with a manly, well-written main protagonist.
Red Dead Redemption 2 is peak woke, dude. What the f? Every single Rockstar game is woke as shit. What is wokeness for these guys? It literally means things I did not enjoy consuming. Okay? Because if gay and women is in virtually every medium of art, you can just pick and choose and go, this thing I did not enjoy is woke as f because gay and women. This thing I did enjoy also features gay and women, but I enjoyed it, therefore it must be not woke. That's all this is. That is the dynamic. Gay Tony, old Rockstar, not woke. Like, what do they think is going on with Rockstar? Like, half of the characters that they're making fun of are, you know, people who have opinions like this.
Arthur Morgan. If you want to see the seismic shift away from masculine characters, honestly, all you need to do is play a few games from 2006, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
Here's a war.
Consider how many masculine military games came out in the 2000s.
Absolutely.
Grand Theft Auto 5 was pretty regressive. It 100% was not regressive. Don't do this. Don't do the opposite of this, okay? So many liberals love doing the opposite of what these guys are doing, where they're like, any kind of criticism, any kind of media criticism that actually demonstrates, any kind of satire that actually demonstrates characters doing things that I perceive as bad is actually not woke enough for my taste. Like, you are insane if you think that the satirical things that was in Grand Theft Auto 5 were quote unquote not woke. Okay?
Medal of Honor, Call of Duty, Brothers in Arms, Gears of War, Operation Flashpoint, Rainbow Six.
This is what it was all about, bro. Like, we had, like, I feel like a lot of...
Do these guys not realize, like, these games still exist, bro? Like, specifically Call of Duty or Rainbow Six still very much exists. Okay? What the f do you mean? Like, what are we, not making war games any longer? Is that what's going on? I played all these games, man, and guess what? They literally still exist. Like, there are so many games. Some of them have the same title. Some of them are the exact same games remastered. I am so confused. Also, Asmongold doesn't even play in first-person shooters. Like, what is he? Does he play first-person shooters? I thought he was like a WoW guy who plays some of the gayest games of all time, like Final Fantasy. All right, what's going on?
Y'all probably played at least 2 or 3 of these, right? Yeah, it's an amazing experience. Absolutely.
6. Ghost Recon Splinter Cell. All of these games were starring men and had themes like brotherhood, duty, sacrifice, honor.
So the reason why Tyrion Fordring left the Silver Hand and was in exile is because whenever he was in captivity, he made a pact with an orc named Itrig. And whenever Itrig was captured...
I have no idea what is this
during the burning of Strathlome.
Is this some WoW shit? I'm skipping through this.
You know, be free, I guess. And Tyrion chose that over it.
Nerds, man. WoW lore that he also ironically gets wrong. I have no idea what the fuck he's talking about. I'm skipping
Brothers
WoW lore.
Arms, yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah, that's the way Blizzard used to be.
Almost all of these franchises have either been killed off, turned into multiplayer games, or went woke. I often wonder why so few modern games appeal to me. And I think another big reason is this. Everything is just so gay now. Compare the games.
You a nerd too? I mean, yeah, this is also true. Okay. Yeah, I am. I played a lot of these games that he's talking about. I enjoyed a lot of these games that he's talking about. I also got laid. So I think that is the major difference here, is that like I also had a normal, healthy development, and you know, I got to dip my toes in both sides of this world where, you know, I played sports, I had friends, a robust social life, and I also loved this nerdy shit. So I think regardless of my, you know, current mode of existence, of being a dude that also, for the most part, stays indoors and spends 8 to 10 hours every day online, and sometimes plays video games, not all that much, but does incredibly nerdy shit like talk about politics. I am ashamed of the way that these guys behave because it is very weird. It is very odd. But I think it also spells trouble for our future, because as we become more alienated, as we become increasingly isolated, increasingly online, I think we are basically dropping the whole being normal, socializing with our fellow man, I don't know, joining an intramural league or whatever. We're dropping all of that and just doing this, staying online in hug boxes where we constantly hype one another up for having the most dog shit opinions. Have you seen the 2 woke game list? Yeah. I feel like if you went back to the 90s or even early 2000s when these video games were being made, and you showed these dudes to the average person back then, they'd be like, this is insane. Like, what the are these losers saying?
Just mentioned, to the modern trash we have to deal with in Overwatch and Apex. Almost every character in these new games is either gay, lesbian, bisexual, trans, or something else.
I think this is an issue, but it's not probably as big of an issue. What is an issue is the fact that they try to like ride off of it.
What? Okay, this is, I think, the first time I've watched like an Asmongold, like, you know, gaming video, kind of like gaming commentary video. And I'm trying to pick up on like what makes this kind of commentary so appealing. And I guess it's because, I mean, this has 2.4 million views 6 months ago. I think it's, he is like the reasonable voice. Is that what it is? Many of you are longtime Asmon fans, right? So I suspect that you've probably seen his commentary more frequently than myself. But is that what it is? Like he is supposed to be like the logical center right voice of reason when it comes to video game commentary? Because he does say like, oh, well, yeah, I think the you know, trans characters are a problem, but it's not that big of a problem, like that type of thing. Is that what it is? He says sometimes gay is okay as long as it's not too in your face. Yeah, that still goes back to the same dynamic that I explained, which is if I enjoy it and it's gay, then it's not woke. If I don't enjoy it and there's gay, then it's woke. That's simply all it is. because games that I know Asmongold enjoys, like Final Fantasy, are gay, right? They're super gay. They don't say center right. They say independent to appear that they don't take sides. You're right. He used to say you can't reason with someone who didn't.
Like, for example, like with Concord or like with Overwatch, I think that's the issue, is that in a lot of times they had characters that were gay or they had some sort of other type of orientation, but they didn't use those characters as a mascot to virtue signal that they care about these types of issues. I think the problem that people really have is...
I'm a former Asmon fan, and yes, the reason people like this is because he masks his opinions as a centrist. I mean, he's not masking his opinions as a centrist here. But I think if you're constantly looking at like obviously far right shit and then moderating your position off of that as a jump off point, then yeah, I think that's a very effective way of looking as though you are the reasonable independent voice in the room. When I goon to penis is not gay. When you goon to penis, it is gay. Yeah. I think that there is, I do personally think there is like a way to reach out to some of these fucking gamers and have them understand what the true problems are, because they also hate live service shit, right? They also hate loot boxes. They also hate IP recycling, like all this stuff. Even right-wing gamers hate that, right? That's why, for example, that developer at the Video Game Awards, like the one that made It Takes Two, when he came out and showcased his now woke video game, like the Split one with 2 women in it as the main characters, a lot of people were upset when he talked about, a lot of people were saying it was DEI because, you know, you're playing as a woman, split fiction. But then he basically capped it off by talking about, we're never going to make live service shit. We're never going to make, we're never going to make loot boxes. We're not trying to farm you for money. And even Asmongold's audience immediately turned and were like, yeah, wait, hold on, guys. This guy's actually cool. So they do understand that that kind of stuff is awful, but they're just so they're so hyper fixated on like any kind of woman being a main character. They hate being exploited or taken advantage of, and that's why they hate live service, and they view woke shit as phony, fake manipulation, and that's 75% of the outrage factor, or at least it used to be. Yeah, I think like that's what Asmongold is saying here, which is that, oh, these guys are just so phony. They're so phony and fake about like acting as though they care about gay people. I think for a lot of publishers, they just don't care. They want to make money. Okay, and they're using queer representation as another way to market. Having said that, however, a lot of developers are fucking queer. Like, what are we talking about? They're gay. They're gay as fuck. Of course they're gay. They're in the arts. Okay? Yeah, they do care because they're gay. What do you mean? What is... It doesn't matter. Yeah, publishers don't care. Writers and artists care about queer representation in games. Yeah, they want to put themselves in the games. And also, there are plenty of people just like themselves that play these games anyway. So it is really weird to get this bent out of shape over it. You know what I mean? I see it for what it is. Okay. Sometimes they do. Sometimes developers do like the look at us. We love LGBT, DEI, whatever, ESG, whatever the fuck it's called. Okay. And it's purely for marketing purposes, right? It's purely for marketing purposes. But getting mad at that beyond understanding that it's just fucking performative or it's purely for marketing purposes sounds like such a waste of time. Like, why does this frustrate you? Eyes on the fucking prize, okay? Eyes on the prize. Get mad at the things that are actually harming this industry. Get mad at the exploitative practices that engage in mass layoffs of developers. And these guys also celebrate that too, which is crazy. Like, they're like, yeah, good. All these gay and woke, it's awesome. Like, how do you not understand that you are celebrating the fucking bosses, the executives that don't care about games, that have made all of your favorite games worse, okay, are just basically using and abusing the developers and then casting them aside for pure profit once again. All of the same exact things that you hate, that I also hate in the gaming sector, that is specifically designed to make money, are initiatives directed by the same motivation, profit, are initiatives directed by the same people that are laying off the developers that made the games that you enjoy.
Is actually not with any character's orientation. I don't think anybody really cares about this character because he's gonna.
Well, yeah, most normal people don't care, but I assume that Asmon's audience, or definitely the Andy Pants Gaming's audience, cares, right?
Talking about this, and I guarantee you're not going to be seeing a slide of Dion from Final Fantasy 16. You're not going to see that. No, you know why? It's because the character wasn't created in a cynical, performative way. And also, like, this is another big issue, and I think
I watched plenty of Asmongold before his Trump pundit phase. If the game is good, they ignore the DEI. If it's bad, then it will get farmed for hate. People defend Baldur's Gate and Hades, but perpetually complain about Concord or Assassin's Creed. Yeah. No, that's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to. He's doing it right now. He's like, oh, well, you know, there are games that I enjoy that have like very obvious, they're very obvious in your face homosexuality, but I enjoy those games, so it's not DEI. There are games that I don't enjoy that have very obvious representation of homosexuality, and I don't enjoy those games, so they are DEI equals bad. Okay? Like they point to Concord, right? Like that's like a great example. The assumption that Concord died because it's gay is so fucking stupid. No, man, it died because it sucked. Okay? And it didn't suck because it was gay, as evidenced by plenty of games that have so much gay that you enjoy. You cannot live in this world where you legitimately think that, no, these games are bad because there's gay, and then also say Baldur's Gate 3 is one of the best games of all time, and there is no wokeness in it. You can fuck a bear in that game, dog. Do you understand? Yes, I do see everything. I know Kai is on the floor. It's fine. Overwatch isn't hated because the characters are gay. It's because the people who made it didn't give a fuck about making the game good, or completely dropped that a long time ago.
You can see this with Suicide Squad, is that they completely caricature people that are LGBT. It's not like this character is LGBT and this is like an after the fact. Like Soldier 76 I thought was good. It's like, yeah, by the way, he's gay. Okay, yeah, fine. Doesn't really have anything to do with it, but yeah, sure. But like, the issue is that they try to use these characters as mascots to promote their own virtue. And I think that a lot of people can perceive that. I know that I perceive that. And I find it to be incredibly obnoxious. So obnoxious. I didn't even know that. Yeah, because nobody cares. Nobody actually cares.
Like,
I don't want to be charitable to Asmon because he does it in bad faith, but I think one argument here is that corporations are capitalizing on diversity for the sake of diversity and pinkwashing themselves, like celebrating Pride Month. I know, but what's it to you? That's the question. Why does that make you so angry? Are you gay? Do you see what I'm saying? Why would that in any way, shape, or form frustrate you to this degree? I recognize that. I say it all the time. But it doesn't fucking bother me at all. You want to know why? Because I don't give a shit. Why do you care? Someone has to explain to me what the harm is, okay? That's the point, right? That's it. What is the harm? What is the harm in marketing specifically to say, oh, we're woke and we're gay, we love gays or whatever, even if it's fake? And in some instances, the company, in most instances, the company obviously doesn't give a shit about gay people. The developers might, but the company doesn't, okay? The company cares about profit. But what is the harm that you are causing? And that's the problem, because when you ask people why they're so mad about this stuff, there's usually never any good answers, okay? There's never any good answers. The argument always devolves into, well, it's not marketed to me specifically. I'm like, okay, everything else is. Who cares if this one thing is not marketed to you? Who gives a shit? Or it's taking up too much space and making video games bad because they're so focused on making them gay or something. And then you show them a litany of examples of video games that are gay that they enjoy that they just don't see as woke, okay? All advertisement is pandering. All advertisement and public relations is propaganda and pandering. That's what it is. So why do you get so mad about certain types of advertising and not mad about others, or as a matter of fact, demand others. Like, do you genuinely think that when they made Dr. Pepper 10 only for men, that it was because of, you know, masculine macho men that were like, we need to finally make a fucking video game that, or a product that is for us men? No, they just thought it was good advertisement. They thought men are dumb and they will go and purchase this because it makes them feel masculine if they consume this product. That's it. I'm not mad. I actually don't care. I just think it's stupid, Lamau, at the end of a fucking 15 tweet thread or half an hour long YouTube video. No, they are mad. They're so goddamn mad. And I don't understand why they are so goddamn mad. Yeah, look at the highest selling video games of 2024. Gaming is dead, motherfuckers, when you tell them to play something that isn't sports. Yeah. I agree, but I feel like you kind of needlessly targeted that Dustborn game to make fun of it a few months ago. Like, yeah, it was pretty bad, but who cares? No, I feel conflicted about that. I feel like I made fun of it too much. It just wasn't for me, you know, and that's why I stopped playing it. But it's okay to say something is not for you, but it's still a video game that someone made. I mean, it was ass, but I still felt bad that I was like maybe making fun of it too much. I think it was funny as fuck. I think it was a little too ass. Yeah, but it's just like, you know.
What happened to a masculine dude with a hot chick on his arm?
True.
I love the idea of Xbox Game Pass, but I swear
Absolutely.
every time I open it up and look for new games, there's just so many games that look gay now. I refuse to play another cutesy 2D platformer or a game with a cutesy art style by some indie developer anymore.
Oh, God.
I'm just done with these games.
Bro, this guy is fucking cooking. Oh, man. He's right. Yeah, that's crazy. Like, to me, it's like, I do think that there's probably there is not enough games that are like Doom that are out there. Like, games that are just, like, by guys, for guys, about blowing shit up and, like, killing things. That's absolutely true. And it's like, you can have the cozy games, too. Those are nice. They're fine. But where's Doom and, you know, like, Duke Nukem, Helldivers, right? Like, Helldivers was the closest thing we got to that. And look at how much that popped off. People loved it.
If you want Gears my 100% real thoughts on this, I just think the entire video game industry has gone woke and gay, and almost nothing they are making appeals to me in any way anymore. So this is why I mostly play 20...
The best part about this is he clearly cut the audio because he was clearly going on a rant about this, and it's like, okay, cut, let's just keep going. Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily about it being gay. I think it's about the performative nature of it. Because if you go back, you'll probably see a lot of instances where, like, diversity or, you know, a strong female character, like Cortana is a great example. Like, Cortana, nobody ever thought about Cortana as, like, oh, yeah, we have to have a woman in, like, the story for Halo. People just liked Cortana because she was part of the story. So, the Tomb Raider, stuff like that, right? And so, it's the issue that, and I think this is a big problem with Western developers, because you can see this. Like, Eastern developers never have this criticism. It's always Western developers. And I think that also, like, the reason why it happens is because people perceive the way that they behave as inauthentic. And I'll give you an example of a difference in, like, a Western development game. Baldur's Gate 3. You can have a dick, you cannot have a dick. You can have whatever you want and look however you want. You can have sex with any character and nobody ever cares about it because the game is seen as an authentic work of art. Whereas when you look at the Assassin's Creed game, it does not seem like it's authentic. It seems like it's performative. It seems like it's made with the intention of, like, look at us. We are this, like, you know, forward-thinking group of people. That's what the issue is, right? And you pick the experience. Yeah, you pick the experience. Like Cyberpunk too. Yeah, Cyberpunk, and it totally makes sense. You're arguing semantics. It's 100% right. Well, what I'm saying, I'm not. It's not semantics, because I don't think that people have a problem with the actual characters. I think that they have a problem with the way these studios portray the characters, because they do it in a caricatured way that's disrespectful.
Yeah, definitely. The people, the fucking dudes that are making these videos are just mad that there isn't proper queer representation, that queer people can be multifaceted. That's what they're mad about. They're mad about the artistic. I think this is a way for Asmongold to basically, like, engage in this sort of commentary that a lot of these people want to hear about, but make it makes sense. You know what I mean? Some semblance of plausible deniability and some semblance of like logic introduced into the equation. Like he is unironically smarter than these fucking morons, which is not really saying much because these guys are not very intelligent. He's smarter than these dudes, so he knows how to like market it in a way that makes more sense. Okay? That's it. Like market the perspective in a way that makes more sense. You know what I mean? Because what he's saying here isn't incorrect. What he's saying here is not wrong. Yes, there's a lot of bad writing. Okay? There's a lot of bad writing out there. There's a lot of bad writing of characters out there. And it is like it's worthy of I think it's worthy of criticism or like worthy of media criticism, okay? But that's not what this guy is doing. He made a slop video about what killed masculinity in fucking video games. Like he's not saying that like the queer characters are appropriate at all. He just doesn't want them in the fucking games at all. That's it. Like the dude that he's hyping up here, that he thinks is like based and brilliant, is literally saying like children's games are gay. Children's games are gay and woke.
And it's self-aggrandizing. That's the reason why people don't like it. Nobody said Sergeant Johnson in Halo was DEI, okay? Nobody fucking said that. And by the way, this isn't current cultural brain rot. If you go look at the Space Marine 2 trailer, you see a black guy, an Asian guy, and a white guy. They're all Space Marines. And they're like, what are we going to do? Are we going to kill him? Yeah, let's kill him. If you read the comments down below, there's nobody saying, oh, yeah, great.
Okay, that's a lie. They absolutely said that shit was DEI. There was hella people that said that shit was DEI as hell. Okay, now I think he's just like talking about an audience that doesn't exist. Like, yeah, this is a desperate attempt for moderation of a perspective that I think Asmongold also recognizes is like a little silly in a way to present it as like, no, these are the normal criticisms. Like listening to what Asmongold is saying here, okay, if like this would directly put him at odds with the the fucking video game channel that he's watching. Like his perspective is not the same as this dude. Okay, here, and I don't think this is denial. I think it's cynical. Here, I'm going to prove it to you. Okay? Asmongold said there was, black and brown and Asian characters on Space Marines 2. Okay? And nobody said it was woke. Okay. Let's see what Andy Pants Gaming had to say about Space Marine 2. Okay, I 100% assume that he deleted his initial Space Marine 2 video game review. Because there is 0% chance that he did not say that it was fucking DEI. Ain't no way to take a guy called Andy Pants seriously. He's definitely massaging the message. No, but you also definitely massage the message to make Asmon seem not as bad for some reason. They put Space Marines on that woke list you saw a few months ago. That's what I'm saying. They literally said it was woke because there's black people in it. The previous video that we watched from Andy Pants Gaming, didn't it fucking feature Space Marine 2 as like woke? Am I crazy? Did I not just watch him say? Where is it? Hold on. Where the fuck's the last video that we just watched? Here. The lead writer for Space Marine 2 was a woman? Yeah. Well, that's gay and woke. Where the fuck's the video that we just watched? Isn't it like here somewhere? Yeah. Redditors melting down. Suck it. Oh, that's because he said it was gay and woke he said it was gay and woke 5 months ago. And then after it was successful, now it's no longer gay and woke.
Today, I want
to... Oh, that's what it is. Hold on. Let me find this fucking thing where he was like talking about. Where the fuck was it? Am I misremembering? Didn't he literally say Space Marines had women in the front lines and it's become gay and woke? It's later in the video, I think. I don't know if it was. You literally just looked at it? Yeah, remember when they were complaining that Space Marine 2 was woke? No, I know, but that's different. That's not this guy specifically. I think this guy specifically also. Open description for transcript. Show transcript. Was it not in the video? I don't know what I would control F, dude. No, it's not. He didn't. I don't think he like specifically mentioned Space Marine. I think he just like briefly showed it on screen. That's what I'm saying. Are you just misremembering? I could be misremembering because a lot of gamers did actually fucking complain. Maybe he didn't specifically. I might be misremembering because we just simply looked at the anti-woke gaming video game content creator that Asmongold has also reacted to in the past. Oh, yeah, he did say improbable. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's what he said. He said it's improbable to have women in the battle in the front lines. It's okay, bro. Don't need to explain yourself. No, dude. Didn't he say it was improbable to have women in the front lines? Am I crazy? Didn't he fucking say that in the video? Or am I thinking of the Steam review? Or was that the Steam review? And he didn't actually say it in the video. Now it's fucking merging together. That was something you read while watching the video. I'm gonna go fucking crazy if I can't figure this out. Okay? I'm gonna go insane. Check your react channels. Bitch, I just reacted to this literally a minute ago. I think I'm mistaking the Steam review that we looked at while we were reviewing this. I don't think he said that. I think it's closer to the end. No, I don't think he, no, the improbable no. At one point he said improbable female authority figure. I remember because I said that's my personal goal. No, that was about the Reddit, or not the Reddit, Riddick. You missed it. I'm mixing up my insults right now. Why don't you check YouTube history? How would YouTube history work in this situation? I feel like some of you just say things. By the way, just wondering, does Sunday Funday exclude EU-US breakup and crying about German politicians? Yes. I'm a tweak out if you don't find it. We have 30,000 people in here and literally 29,900 people are just invested in entirely separate things than me right now. YouTube history will show you the videos you watch. I'm gonna seppuku. I'm gonna Sudoku. I'm gonna fucking Sudoku. We are literally looking at the video. I'm trying to figure out at what point in the goddamn... I'm going to rewatch the whole video now. I'm going to rewatch the whole fucking video. I swear to God. This is what everyone's thinking of. If it's me pulling the Marine scene in game are improbably diverse. Features frontline... Yeah, this is just the not get... this is the woke review. It's not actually his opinion. It's not the opinion of this content creator. It's not in the video. I mistook it for being in the video. I feel like I heard him briefly shit on it, but probably not. Chat will always be useless when you need him the most. Oh, 100%. Yeah. I think it was just the actual Steam review that we were reading about the not woke gamers. But plenty of people in the fucking anti-woke brigade. My point initially was Asmongold is wrong, and that plenty of people in the fucking anti-woke brigade said Warhammer 40K was woke, okay? A lot of people did. Asmongold also called the game woke. I have the link, but I'm poor. Can I share it? Useless bitch. I sent it to you 3 times. Dude, this is not what I'm looking for, okay? I know this already. I know plenty of fucking people. I know plenty of people said it was woke. Why was it woke? Because there was... Specifically for the reasons that Asmongold claims, gamers didn't think it was woke, okay? That's it. I was specifically trying to figure out if this creator, I was misremembering. I thought Andy Gaming specifically said it wasn't fucking woke. Or I specifically said it was woke. That's it. Why is there so much miscommunication today? We're not in sync today. Anyway, let's continue.
More DEI thinks this. It's about the way that it's presented. That's the problem. The problem is their stereotypes.
There are so many examples of these exact same slop makers that fucking cry about a game being woke and it sucking dick ahead of time, only to turn around and quietly make new videos about how not woke it is when the game comes out, it's released, and it's awesome and people love it. Okay? That's the reality. And I thought that Andy Pants Gaming had done that as well. I was wrong. I'm admitting that I was wrong about Andy Pants Gamers, who I falsely suspected of also shitting on Warhammer ahead of time, just like Synthetic Man and all these other fucking losers, had not actually said something negative about Warhammer. Maybe he's a big Warhammer 40k fan. But Asmongold is still wrong in this regard when he says gamers weren't crying about Warhammer 40k. They certainly were.
Typing, yeah, like adding in Mrs. Freeze, and she just looks like your traditional, like, butch lesbian. How disrespectful. It's insane to me. Let's see awful. Here. Did you guys see that? Space Marine 2. Senior writer on Warhammer 40k, Space Marine 2. Let's not cast cis white men and stuff for a year and see what happens just for fun. Sorry, cishet white dudes, comics don't belong to you. Comics never belong to you. We meet another superhero every month until our demands are met. Oh, about making different characters like gay or something like that. Lots of varieties talking about Ashley Cooper. Yeah, these tweets are 3 to 7 years old. What have they done recently?
Oh boy.
If you're going to insist on playing the wizard game, stop bending yourself into a pretzel trying to find a way to explain or justify doing so, and have the conviction to just say, transphobia is not a deal breaker for me.
And this is the senior writer for a game of one of the most brutal franchises ever conceived.
So this is the way that I look at it. Would this person try to ruin a person's life if they had tweets that were negative about trans people or about some other type of minority that were 3 to 7 years old? I think the answer is absolutely. I think that in a situation like this, you should absolutely hold this against people like this. She's a complete piece of trash. That's disgusting. I don't know why any company would want to hire a person. Like, I mean, to me, whenever I see somebody like this is the way that I feel about it, right? I'm a straight white guy. I didn't do anything to this person, and I do find it to be very unsettling, and it makes me very uncomfortable whenever people are brazenly posting negative things about me for a thing that I can't control. I think that if somebody was saying this about women or about trans people or gay people, you know, really anybody besides straight white guys, I'm pretty sure they'd be raked over the coals and everybody would hate them. So it's an obvious double standard, and I think a lot of people are getting tired of it. And it would make me less likely to consume a product if I knew that the people that are making the product actively dislike me.
Well, turns out it wasn't woke. So this lady was capable of putting out a not woke product that Asmongold liked, that he claims other gamers didn't think was actually DEI when they very clearly did, including, but not limited to, Synthetic Man, who I famously reacted to on this broadcast, who lost his fucking mind about the fact that there were black and like Asian, specifically what Asmongold is saying here. Okay,
just
like,
it's like they're all Space Marines, and they're like, "What are we gonna do? Are we gonna kill him? Yeah, let's kill him."
Like that right there is directly the opposite of what the Not Woke video game Steam review called this this game. They said it was DEI specifically because it had Asian and black people in it. And so did was it the Drinking Man or the Synthetic Man or whatever the fuck? Warhammer 4K is woke. Critical Drinker. Yeah. No, I think it was, no, I don't think it was Critical Drinker. I think it was literally I think both of them probably made videos, but I think it was the Synthetic Man who was fucking losing his mind. My libertarian uncle watches him. Gross. Yeah, he's corrupted. You can see it on his Warhammer 40k Space 2 Marine branded woke because it has black Ultramarines. Yeah, it was Synthetic Man. This guy. This is the video that we watched. A streamer / YouTuber named Synthetic Man at the center of criticism recently released a video where he gave his not so needed opinion on the character design for the recently released Space Marine 2. He's seen bashing and calling out characters based on the color of their skin. Okay? What is this? Is this? Oh, this is the... Wait, Space Marines 2 is peak masculinity? Wait, so then he turned around and said it was... This is who I was thinking of.
20...
Did he delete his initial commentary, or did he just... He just literally called it fucking woke because there's black Marines and Asian Marines, and now the title of Space Marine 2 is peak masculinity. It's not a safe world. People like Synthetic Man out there propagating racism and sexism openly on a platform. Anyway, my point is, gamers 100% did say this. Asmongold either has not seen it, which I doubt he hasn't seen, because I suspect that might be as a joke or sarcasm. No, we watched it. We literally watched Synthetic Man's video. It was insane. He was not being sarcastic at all. Okay? It was Synthetic Man. I mean, I could show you the fucking video as well. Yeah, he was the one that did the Fallout show video as well. He's fucking insane. Anyway, the point is, so I suspect that Asmongold's probably reacted to Synthetic Man before too. I mean, he is a very big anti-woke account. I'd be shocked if he hasn't reacted to him. Like, and I'm sure he disagrees with this point, I guess, that Synthetic Man puts forth in terms of the DEI narrative on Warhammer 40K. But my point is that there are plenty of fucking gamers who did say that. I don't know, man. These anti-woke accounts are getting blurry these days. Anyway.
If you read the comments down below, there's nobody saying, oh yeah, great, more DEI. Nobody actually thinks this. It's about the way that it's presented. That's the problem. The problem is they're stereotyping. Yeah, like
New Jobbery video may be more interesting than Asmongold. Okay, I'm giving a week off to people that don't fucking enjoy whatever I choose to cover today. Sorry. It's the most annoying thing that people do. You know? It's like, please, do I seem desperate for your feedback on what we should be covering today? Was I like, oh man, I really don't know what to talk about today. Can chatters please give me suggestions on whatever they want me to fucking talk about? Anyway, as I showed you already, Asmongold is wrong. There are plenty of fucking gamers who said that Warhammer 40K was woke because of the Asian and black and female representation.
Adding in Mrs. Freeze, and she just looks like your traditional, like, butch lesbian. How disrespectful. It's insane to me. It's awful.
Me in any way anymore. So this is why I mostly play 20-year-old games on my channel, because they were just better. I was recently reading an insider interview about what went down at Volition Studios with the disastrous Saints Row reboot from an inside source. This source said that the LGBTQ community...
It's like, here's the truth. Nobody wants to look like this in real life, hardly ever. Huh. This dude, you know who this dude goes? He goes, and you know what game he plays? Doom. He's gonna go and play fucking Halo. Nobody wants to look like this. Like with the bow tie and everything, like Bill Nye, the science guy. This is not like, a guy is not gonna see this and be like, oh, that's me. Absolutely not. Now, are there some people that do? Yeah, for sure. But not really. Get the shit out of here. Yeah, bro. Like,
I don't understand. Does Asmongold look like any of the people in the video games that he plays? Like, what the fuck? Like, this is such a weird thing to criticize. He's Trevor from GTA. Okay.
It's like a... it feels like it's so safe. Right?
Within the company was actually pretty small, but they are the loudest and the most annoying.
And one more thing I gotta briefly mention is the small amount of wokeness in the game, depending on your definition. Basically, the only left-wing propaganda I noticed while playing this game is the comical amount of diversity. The most offensive being the major of the Cadian guardsmen, who is an Indian woman, an ugly one at that. Remember, testosterone converts to estrogen. Speaking of estrogen. Yeah, that's something, alright. Can we shoot her? Just stomp on her on accident. If you compare her to the woman from the first game, it's like night and day. And while she really doesn't do much during the story other than yell on the comms throughout the first half of the game, it's just incredibly annoying seeing girl boss characters in this day and age, especially in a supposedly grim, dark universe. And the diversity, it's also the Space Marines. Now, again, I'm not an expert on the lore, but I understand that Space Marines come from Gene Seed, which comes from their Primarchs, right? Which comes from, ultimately, the Emperor. So why are all these Ultramarines different ethnicities? Shouldn't they all be the same race as Guilliman? Again, I'm not an expert on this, but I feel like portrayals I've seen of Space Marines, they're generally all white, except for the Salamanders, who are like charcoal black or something. One of Titus's squad mates is black-ish, and the other one is like a Happa or something. It's hard to tell because they all have these weird Giga Chad features. Basically, every Space Marine looks like the Chad meme, so there is one Space Marine that is just straight up undeniably African, which is bizarre. He's corrupted! You can see it on his skin. Either way, you get the point. This has definitely got to be a retcon for diversity purposes. And yeah, I gotta say, it definitely distracted me. It wasn't woke enough for me to say, like, oh, this is blatant.
Not only is he racist, he a lore larper, yeah.
Into key roles. And that's how you get the absolute dumpster fire of a game that was Saints Row 2022.
Yeah.
I think what you have at a lot of these game studios is about 80% of the staff is probably just hetero dudes trying to do their job, but they're afraid of speaking up or saying what they actually think. And then you have the LGBTQ folks making decisions.
I think this is changing a lot on social media. So, like, for a while, this was true. And I think that, like, when Elon bought social media, the ability to create a narrative like this definitely went away.
Yeah, Elon bought the entirety of social media. It's so crazy that, like, annoying rad libs in the minds of these guys are just not like some people that you hear and get pissed off at, or some people that you hear about and you're just like, all right, whatever, I don't agree with this, who gives a shit? But instead, like, the people who hold the keys to the castle, like, they have awesome power, endless amounts of power. Time and time again, it has been proven that if you make a good game, it doesn't fucking matter what people are saying on Twitter. Who cares? None of them talk about Pokemon Go. They've, like, lost their minds about rad libs on Twitter. They just, like, they think that these guys have any sort of momentum or motion. Those people think I'm racist, dude. Those people think I'm transphobic. Who cares? How ridiculous. And I would prefer the fucking rad libs 1,000,000% every single time to the loser that Asmongold's watching, who loses their fucking mind at the mere sight of a gay person. You know what I mean?
Or it didn't necessarily go away, but it was, like, dramatically nerfed. Because what would exactly. What ended up happening is that being accused of being the wrong thing, like, oh, you're sexist, oh, you just hate, you know, whatever, like, the effectiveness of that has gone down because there have been so many false accusations for this. Or, like, just basically, like, if you're one of them, you're all of them. Exactly. That's what it is. It's still bad at work, though. And I think that this definitely probably is true, is that people don't want to... Like, nobody wants to be the guy that's pushing against having a character in a game that's, like, gay or, like, LGBT. Or, like, changing a character to female or something like that. Nobody wants to be the person that's against that because that's probably going to make them look bad. Absolutely. That's thin ice? Yeah, of course. And like, you just think...
Wait. Like, why is he suspecting that that is what's going on? Like, this is what I don't understand. The notion that, like, there is all of these people that are like, no, we have to make gay characters, like, more gay characters. It seems kind of like... it seems kind of at odds with what Asmongold was initially suggesting, which is that, like, no one cares if there's a gay character as long as it's not in your face about their gayness or whatever. Or in even more charitable terms, that would mean, why are there no multifaceted, unique queer representation, and that queer characters are so totally one-dimensional and just about how gay they are? Okay? Which is, ironically, what Asmon is presenting as his criticism of, like, the media representation of queerness, when in fact his entire audience is like, oh, gay DEI, fuck you. Okay? But what I don't understand is, like, why is he fantasizing about a reality where seemingly there's these like woke queer people in video game companies that are trying to actively put more queer characters in the games, and nobody wants to resist against it. I don't even know why they would, but nobody wants to resist against it because of woke, because they'll get canceled or whatever. Maybe they fucking want to put the gay characters in the game.
Think about it logically. You think about how many eggshells people need to step on, need to avoid stepping on, or whatever it is, whenever they're talking about like any sort of like social issue. That's an HR complaint? Yeah, exactly, right? So like at work, it's probably 1,000 times worse.
About what kind of game to make. And everything just ends up being safe and soft and sensitive because, oh, we can't hurt anybody's feelings.
Yeah.
So, of course, you get these shitty dumpster fire video games that nobody wants to play. After reading a lot of insider interviews at these developers, this is my sense of what has been happening. I also feel like there's this kind of unholy alliance right now between games journalists, white liberal women at game studios, and the LGBTQ community at game studios. And they
God.
Do these guys unironically hate Alan Wake? Like, what's going on? It was a fantastic video game. What the fuck? Like, you're really shitting on Max Payne? This makes no sense. All these guys nostalgic for a time that never existed, just miss having even less responsibility than their current stay-at-home son lifestyle. Same reason every game is gay and woke now. Their newest system is like a PS3 because their parents stopped caring so hard and they can't even try the new games. No, I think that most of these NEETs have enough money to buy the new systems and shit. They just don't like it because games don't hit the same. It just comes with the territory of getting older. You get older, and the things that you used to enjoy when you had no responsibilities whatsoever don't feel as good. I think that's most of this problem. Oh, here come the fucking annoying people. If it's good, why didn't you finish it? It's a good game. It's different. You know why I didn't finish it? Because despite it being a good game, and there are incredible games, every single person that fucking complains in here leaves when I start playing it. So shut the fuck up. It's so stupid. There are more people in this chat that constantly chirp about me not finishing a specific game than there are people who actually watch me play the game. I don't understand how the fuck this happens, where there are literally more people in the chat that if I were to ask, like, should I play video games or not? There would be more people voting, yes, please play video games, than the people that actually end up watching. Shut the fuck up. And in spite of that, there are still plenty of games that I do finish, okay? Because I'm like, locked in. I genuinely hate that there's so many people that just that complain. There are more people that just want to complain about lack of gaming than actually want to watch the gaming. I enjoy playing games. That's why I play them offline.
I do think that there definitely is like a certain sense of like what's the word is for it? Like shared goals that the games journalists sometimes feel like they're running PR for game studios. And I think this is a huge issue, and it's one of the reasons why people don't trust games journalists anymore.
Yes, games journalists do run PR for especially big developers. I don't think this is one of those instances. Yeah, it's access journalism. It's the same issue with everything that exists. There are still obviously plenty of great journalists. The irony, of course, is that the good gaming journalists, these guys don't like. You know what I mean?
All seem to be united around
this
one
guy gives
thing.
0 fucks. Yeah, he does. Bro, he just says it.
Yeah, bro. He's so brave.
Actually hate gamers.
By the way, I think for a lot of Western studios, this is true. I am actually a believer of this. I think that game developers do have genuine resentment for the average run-of-the-mill gamer guy. It actually is true. It's obvious? Yep. In the West? Yeah. I think so.
And who are gamers overwhelmingly? Well, heterosexual dudes like us, of course.
Yes. This, you know what this is?
I love, he used this again. He literally used the same fucking thing. He uses this image for some weird reason to be like, look at all these gamers. Does he think he's like, did he play football for USC or something? Like, I don't understand why he's showing a photo of like, yeah, Matt Stafford and the USC football team over and over again being like, these are what gamers are like. Like, When Asmongold looks at this photo, does he go, yep, that's me? Is that what's going on here? Like, what the fuck is happening in the mindset of people that look at that and go, yep, it's just like looking in a mirror. Me, just like these guys who fucking are athletes and the only video game they play is Madden. Is that what you think is going on? When you are a gamer and an Asmongold fan, and you look closer to Asmongold than you do to Matt Stafford, and you see a photo of them, you go, yup, just us. We love to play our fucking video games, and we hate gay people. Asmongold, or a single fan of his, could tell you that this is Mark Sanchez, Matt Stafford, and Colt McCoy in their heyday.
This right here, this is a Call of Duty squad meeting up for the first time, probably. That's what it is right there.
Wait, what? No, dude. That's not a Call of Duty squad meeting up for the first time. What are you saying? Oh my God! I'm fucking Turkish and I don't play football, and even I know what the fuck that photo is. What is happening? What? Oh my God, it's so funny. Holy shit, dude. Wait, why does he keep using the fucking Matt Stafford photo though? Like, I actually don't understand. Like, is there a specific reason? Like, what is the why? Let me see. Like, I can't even find this photo. Like, I don't even know where it's from. It's the same video, dumbass? No, I don't think this is the same video. Who killed masculinity in video games is different. I think, isn't this this is a different video, chat. Why are you like this? Yeah, it's a different fucking video where he used the same goddamn photo in. That ain't Stafford. That's literally fucking Mark Sanchez, dude. What are you talking about? Like, that is Mark Sanchez. Is this not Mark Sanchez? Am I crazy? Quarterbacks, Mark Sanchez and Matt Stafford, and a 250. Yeah, that. How can I forget? How can I forget Mark Sanchez? Okay. I just don't understand why he keeps bringing this image up seemingly from 2009 or 2008. Anyway, I don't know why he posted this, but I think it's really funny that Asmongold was like, yeah, that's a COD lobby waiting to happen. And his chat is like, yeah, it's all of us. The boys. This is the boys. None of these people know who these fucking people are. What is going on? No, none of you are capable of doing the butt fumble, okay? That is a unique skill set. None of you, not a single Asmongold chatter is capable of pulling off the butt fumble. Also, ironically enough, as someone who doesn't even fucking care about football, even I know that. And ironically enough, none of the fucking Asmongold fans know what the fuck that even is. I'm getting mad. They're stealing frat valor. This is my culture. It's not your fucking costume, gamers. Stop making Will sad. Anyway, my culture is not your fucking prom dress, dude. Show chat the butt fumble. I will not be doing that. Anyway, let's continue. My point is, this is very revealing about the way that I think Asmon and other people in his community sees themselves as. Oh, someone knew who that was. They said Matt Stafford and Mark Sanchez.
This recent Reddit thread was written by an actual game developer and made
Alpha Man, not beta cuts.
We realized it. It reads, headline.
Am I allowed to say this? I kind of hate gamers. I'm a professional game designer, and I'm worried that I'm starting to hate gamers. Watching the gaming events on YouTube last month with the chat on was extremely disheartening experience. Every time a character that wasn't a cishet white man appeared on screen, the chats would fill with messages calling the game woke or complaining about DEI.
And the problem is that he's kind of right, but he doesn't understand why it's like this. He views it as in, like, the people that are responding this way they're wrong, but you never think to yourself, why are they wrong? Why do they think this? Because, like, that's the real truth, is that you don't really hear opinions like this. Like, this guy is obviously, bro, this guy doesn't give a fuck. But, like, you're not going to...
Yeah, the guy that you're watching literally is the reason why that person is saying, it's so fucking annoying that I'm pouring my entire fucking life into this thing that I care about. And dumbass, unfuckable losers are going, oh, gay person, this sucks. Literally, directly as a consequence of guys like this that you're watching that you call based. Why are you still not banned, little bro? It's because I am Jeff Bezos. It is truly shocking that Asmongold thinks, or at least presents, a alternative reality where all of these gamers, capital G, hard R gamers, are actually they're actually mad at the queer representation, not simply because it exists and that they're fucking weirdo losers, but because the queer representation is not as multifaceted as it could be, that the queer characters are simply too one note. Yeah, that's what they mean when they go DI equals die. They're talking about how, why no real queer media representation? That's what they're actually saying. Yeah, when I type in DEI equals die, what I actually simply mean is that queer people come from all different walks of life and different backgrounds, different demographics, and represent a variety of different opinions. They are not a monolith, and it is actually so one note. It is genuinely shocking that Sweet Baby Inc. consistently ends up creating these heavy-handed, one-dimensional queer characters that positively put forth their sexual identity as the only thing that matters about them. Queer people are more than just their sexualities. This is the reason why we need better queer representation. No, that's not what's going on. None of these people are fucking literate, let alone media literate, okay? What is this fantasy? Why does he keep repeating this over and over again? His chat is, they think it's blind hate. They must be phobic because it's funny. Chat exists to be funny. Okay.
A lot of other people, and this is the reason why I get a lot of hate, is because I'll watch a video like this, I'll see what it says, right? For sure. But other people don't want to talk about it. They don't want to challenge this kind of stuff because they don't want to get in trouble. It's a lot now. People are suspicious now, absolutely. But if you look at the actual opinions of people in comment sections and the amount of people that are able to have free conversations about this, it's very obvious that this is an extremely prevalent opinion. My customers.
It's wild seeing you see what we've been seeing for years now. Wait, what? What do you mean? There's not... Like, I know why gamers say this shit, okay? Because it's edgy. Ooh, they just... Many of them have either repressed sexual opinions that they're truly ashamed of, or others just are simply bigoted and hateful and think that homosexuality is what's ruining the fucking gaming industry, and not just like the for-profit tendencies of these mega corporations in this insanely profitable sector. I've been aware of this. I've actually never poured through like the Asmongold commentary of it, but I do think it's funny that there's so much. I get it now. Yeah, there's so much room for plausible deniability in Asmongold's coverage because he says a lot of things that do make sense in terms of queer visibility being one-dimensional in fucking video games or in works of art. But the irony is he's preaching to an audience that does not have that perspective. They do not want any queer visibility for the most part. They just want gay people to not exist in these fucking games. Or if it's in a game that they enjoy, they just don't give a shit. Okay? They don't give a shit enough about it to like make a big stink because the game is good. It almost feels like Asmongold is trying to give his audience the appropriate framework to shit on gay people, but they're too stupid. Because Asmongold's framework isn't even shitting on gay people, really. It's just advocating for an alternative reality that does not exist. You're holding your chopsticks wrong? No, I'm not. I would say it's a cynical ploy to make it seem as though he's like actually coming at it from a truly interesting perspective about, demanding more multifaceted queer media representations in video games. But it's very clear that that's not what he's advocating for. And it's certainly clear that that's not what his audience wants.
Are wrong. What a moron. I know. And that's the thing, is that these people try to... You will never have a successful product if it exists in opposition of your audience. Do we actually know this post was written by a game designer? No, it's probably a random person. It has nothing to do with it. It's probably some 14-year-old. But I think it's pretty obvious that people think this way. Because gamers are just immature edgelords. Well, then stop making games.
What?
Stop trying to insert yourself into a place that people don't want you.
Wait, what happened? I thought gamers were demanding more multifaceted queer visibility, more multifaceted and and creative queer characters. Now he's saying gamers are edgy and the game developers should fucking leave. That's weird. Just stop making games.
If all gamers are just immature edgelords, then why are you trying to make content for them? Just stop doing it.
Every game that wasn't a shooter or a hyper-casual competitive online game garnered zzz and boring comments.
Like, I think it's crazy that OTK has a literal... Like, this unironically will cause developers to go, okay, I don't know if I want to fucking associate with this. That's the crazy part about this, right? Like, if you're constantly shitting on developers in general, like, and highlighting some of the grossest fucking freaks, even if you don't agree with them, but like kind of agreeing with them whenever you highlight them and garnering a shit ton of attention that is ultimately leading to mass harassment of fucking developers. Like, why the fuck would anybody want to work with them? Like, that makes no sense. Yes, there are amazing, wonderful developers in general. Some of them, I assume, also work with the OTK game publishing division in general. I suspect there's hella fucking gay developers on that front too. Dude, this stuff is truly one of the worst aspects, at least from all the developers I talk to, and many of them are very progressive, okay? They hate this shit. This shit sucks. They're pouring all of their collective experiences, their lives' work into this stuff so that people can play these games for a little bit. Sometimes they're doing it and losing their jobs immediately after like a successful cycle. Whoa! Oh my god! Okay, Kaya, it's valid. It's no longer a place. Kaya! She finally broke the bed. It's okay, baby. She was right all along. Her fat ass broke the bed. You fatty! You're fat! You're fat! You're fat! You're fat! Yeah. All right, can you take her outside, Mom? Can you take her fat ass outside? My mom hates it when I call her a fat ass. Kaya, I mean. Anyway, it's true though. It's true. She's a fat ass. Literally, look. Okay, look at this. Look. She broke the bed, chat. She broke the fucking bed. Can you please stop describing people with money as being caked up? That means they have hella ass. I think the term you're looking for is breaded up. No, you can say caked up too. I can. Don't blame her for the product defects. Chat, she's fat. Okay? That is the top of the line, highest quality dog bed that I got specifically for dogs that weigh as much as Kaya. Okay? That literally is a dog bed that is designed for dogs that are larger than Kaya, technically. Okay? She's just outgrown it. She's just getting too fat. The dog bed was faulty. Yeah. She a fatty. Let's be real.
Comments.
You want to know why they garnered zzz and boring comments? Because they were boring. So here, let me give you guys, this is something people might not know. There is a word that's used, it's cozy. When you hear cozy, I want you to switch that in your mind. Boring. Boring game.
People implying that the MC in Fable trailers is ugly because it's a
She is.
insert of some random level designer working at Playground whom they deemed not fuckable enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, what?
Yeah, people don't want to look at an ugly chick. Yeah, they want to have a hot...
Asman, come on, dude. First, the fucking Mark Sanchez photo being like, yeah, it's just like looking in a mirror. These are some real gamers. And now this. People don't like looking at an ugly chick? Asman. Ugly guys, though, they love looking at them. Like, that's crazy, man. Look, this is juvenile misogyny. It's not even like adult level misogyny. It's juvenile level misogyny where it's like all women are supposed to be objects of sexual desire If you are not an object of sexual desire, if you're not fuckable, then you should not exist in the game as a main character. If you have a main character as a woman, she has to be fappable.
The morning I woke up and I was like, holy crap. Like, one of my favorite YouTubers, Asmongold, was like making a video, responding to my video. And for a second I was panicking. I was like, oh man, I hope he likes it. Like, if he doesn't like this video, like, I might kill myself.
Asmongold.
So there's this thing you see on YouTube a lot now, and it's called grifting, and you see people like Luke Stevens and Asmongold doing it a lot, and it just basically means these people have no integrity whatsoever. One of my favorite YouTubers, Asmongold. And it basically means you just regurgitate whatever the popular opinion to have right now is. One of my favorite YouTubers, Asmongold, you have no integrity and you will just regurgitate whatever people.
I don't think Asmon even gives a fuck about this. Yeah, glad to see he's learned the error of his ways. Yeah, bro, he doesn't give a fuck. He's like, yeah, this guy is also grifting. Look, as long as dumbass gamers don't realize that most of these dudes do not have like a coherent ideology, okay? And they're just simply reacting to things on the boundaries of, is it woke or is it not woke? Because if I didn't like it, it's woke and it's bad. If I liked it, then it's not woke and it's good. As long as they don't realize that and they keep clicking and they keep giving millions of fucking views to these videos, both Asmongold and this fucking dumbass is gonna keep doing the same shit. They don't care. It is not a delicate allegiance. It is, there's no real allegiance to one another whatsoever. It's just a allegiance to the grift. Anyway, that's all it is. I'm telling you right now, if the overwhelming majority of the gaming audience was constantly demanding queer representation and was constantly turning around and saying like, oh, these characters are actually too one-dimensional, they're not woke enough, these guys would be saying it too, okay? That's it. That's it. They go along with the audience, with the marketplace. Now, one might turn around and say, well, didn't you just prove the point that gamers want fucking, gamers don't want gay characters in their video games? And to them, I say, most people don't give a shit, okay? What you're seeing is a very loud minority of the entire consumer base. But it's a very loud minority of an entire consumer base that actually constantly feeds the algorithm. They love watching YouTube videos. Part of the reason why they love watching YouTube videos is because they're not playing any fucking video games, because they hate video games, because they're 37 years old and now have to fucking pay taxes and work a shit job, knowing full well that they have no fucking future prospects and they'll never get pussy and that it's all gone and it doesn't feel as good as it did when I was 14, when I used to just sit back and play video games and the dino nuggies my mom would serve me and the friends and the dreams that I had. I was going to be exact one day. I was going to be the high school quarterback and then maybe go to college and, and then eventually end my career. That's what I thought was going to happen. But now I'm 37 years old, still living with my mommy, and she's no longer making the dino nuggies. That's it. That's it. If that was the case, the gaming industry would be collapsing year over year. Unfortunately, their profitability goes up more and more. They keep generating more and more revenue, which is why they seemingly will never change. And by that, I don't mean they're going to fucking, never change from their gay ways. They're just not going to stop doing live service games and the IP recycling that everybody despises. Meanwhile, I say this, but I'm still, of course, very excited for Snake Eater.
Hot character. You stupid? Duh. You fucking like, what the fuck? Where do these people come from? Where do these people come from? What the fuck? I know. It's so dumb, bro. Like, God.
I don't know. It's just the internet magnifying negative voices, I guess, doing what it does best. But it's making me real tired of gamers.
So at this point, It seems that games journalists and all of the liberal LGBT mafia that work at game studios actually hate their audience. And this is a comment I keep reading from you guys again and again. I swear they literally hate us. They seem to be dead set.
Yeah, dude, the fucking photo again. This guy unironically thinks he's like so much of the argument from gamers revolves around, well, you see, I drew you as a Sojak, and I imagined myself as a Chad face, which means your argument is destroyed. Like, what are you doing? That ain't you, little bro. Wake up. Those dudes, if you were to go up to those dudes back in the high school days, okay, in the gaming heyday of your life, and went up to them and were like, excuse me, I feel like methinks there's too many females in video. They beat you with hammers, dog. They would fucking beat you. You would get hate crimed, okay? Shut the fuck up. I'm gonna take my fucking shirt, like, my top off for the rest of this fucking video. You done did it. God damn it. Can't even eat my fucking 1 pound of straight white chicken breast without a bunch of goddamn fucking nerds wearing my fucking culture like it's their fucking prom dress. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm now so anti-Big Bang Theory, you don't even understand, dude. We should have never had no bazingas, okay? Yeah. You go, oh, bazinga, and then before you know it, you got fucking Elon Musk running the show.
On giving their audience exactly what we don't want. Mm-hmm. How long is your business going to be open if you're dead set on not giving the customer what they want?
Well, in the past year or so, I think that we know exactly the date of what that is. Yeah, great question. I think that we know exactly how long it's going to last. They want to change the customer. And this is the thing, right, is that these are people, like, in a lot of cases, like a lot of these game developers, I mean, these are just random people, right? I mean, some of them are weirdos.
Wait, I don't get it. Asman very quickly changed his perspective here. Initially, he was saying, no, a lot of the people's criticism is just simply that they want better depictions of queer characters and that no one complained about Warhammer being DEI, even though he complained about it potentially being DEI, which is fine. But now he's talking about how this industry is, you know, going down a dark, scary path because all they care about is gay characters, and that the game developers only want to make gay characters and resent their audience for not having that same shared interest, and that video game developers that think that video game audiences are edgy losers who don't understand the work that they put into it should just quit their jobs. At no point does it strike me as though Asmongold cares about the quality of queer visibility. Kind of just feels like he's responding to his audience and, you know, base making, but instead in a, I guess, more palatable way where there is at least some semblance of plausible deniability. The funniest part about all this is that, like, truly, I don't think he gives a shit about any of this. Like, maybe he cares about, like, titties not being as big in video games or whatever. But, like, I think he, just like myself, just like everybody else, cares about playing good games and enjoying video games. I think Asmongold still continues to enjoy video games for the most part, and not just fucking WoW Classic, okay? I think a lot of this stuff is because his audience, he knows how to get clicks and attention. He doesn't even play WoW anymore. Yeah, that's it. I think he knows that there are a lot of sweaty fucking losers out there who want someone to basically say, yeah, this guy's based. Yeah, this guy just says it out loud, huh? That's it. That's what gamers desperately crave. Yeah.
Some of them are not, but these are people in a lot of cases, like, you don't want to be, like, talked down to by a person like this. Absolutely not. You're like a 28-year-old software engineer. I don't want you to be telling me what my politics should be. Stop it.
What?
Get the fuck out of here. Yes.
This is why when skanks...
Bro, the disdain that these people have for fucking Alyssa Mercante is so psychotic. Like, it's actually insane.
It's like Alyssa Mercante are crying about Kotaku shutting down and losing their jobs, and game studios are going under because they were associated with Sweet Baby Inc. I just...
Look where it was from. Look. Oh, yep. r/Asmongold. There we go. Oh, man, there it is. Yep. The main base of operations. Oh, God.
I just laugh.
Why would developers resent this guy? I wonder. Much to consider. Why would developers resent his community? I wonder. I can't seem to place my finger on it. Much like the fucking HasanAbi heads in here that love to complain about me not playing video games, but don't actually want to play video games or watch me play video games. Asmongold's community does not actually want to play video games. They love complaining about how shitty video games are. That's it. Two sides of the same fucking coin. I swear to God. People in this chat love to say, Hasan, please play some video games so I can fucking leave. People in this chat go, well, people in this chat actually do like watching video games, even if they shit on him a lot. He does have some real gamers.
Let them burn. Let all these companies burn who don't know how to give the audience. The wonderful irony in all this is that it's the very games that the woke cancel mob has tried to cancel that seem to do the best. Remember Hogwarts Legacy? Yeah, men who dress in women.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy. Hogwarts Legacy is not woke, is the funniest. It is literally the funniest way to arrive at this conclusion where it's like, oh, well, it was successful, so it's not woke. Really? We're now officially, we're saying Hogwarts Legacy was not fucking woke? Remember, everybody yelled at me for saying how stupid it was to try to like boycott a game like Hogwarts Legacy because, you know, it was going to be insanely popular and that it would have been probably smarter to try and fundraise for like Trans Lifeline by playing it or some shit. But what's funny about this is that regardless of the, oh, you're transphobic if you fucking play Hogwarts Legacy narratives that ran rampant throughout the internet, and this was not one of those places, ironically enough, even though Ben Shapiro is stupid and didn't understand the point I was making and still ended up making videos about it. If you remember, the woke mob is coming after HasanAbi. He's so scared. Anyway, Hogwarts Legacy is made by woke people. Hogwarts Legacy, the game, has all of the same woke components that these guys fucking lose their minds over. Hogwarts Legacy literally had a trans character. Hogwarts Legacy was made by trans developers. So virtually every single thing that this fucking dipshit cries about with respect to all of these like developers being gay and all these games being fucking woke, the only thing that happened within the Hogwarts saga is that understandably we're frustrated because it's IP made by a ginormous transphobic person. But Hogwarts as a franchise is appealing mostly to millennial libtards, the very same people that this guy normally would claim suck. But because trans people were mad online, all of a sudden now, a video game where you can do whatever kind of gender shit you want to do, a video game that was designed by trans developers, a video game that had a trans character in it, all of a sudden is not woke. The IP itself, regardless of the person, the person who created the initial Harry Potter franchise, the IP itself is almost entirely serving millennial liberals, okay?
Women's Clothes tried to get it canceled. Instead, the game sold 25 million copies. Oops. Remember Elden Ring?
Extremely fucking popular.
Remember how the woke mob?
Yeah, no shit, dude. No shit. Of course it was extremely popular. It's fucking Hogwarts, man. It's the #1 nostalgia baiting IP recycling that you can engage in. Also, Elden Ring. People did not say Elden Ring was not woke. I don't know what this fucking review that he found was.
Mob tried to accuse FromSoft games of having quote, problematic depictions of women.
Shut the fuck up. I got it. You don't have an opinion on the subject. Thank you for repeating that over and over again. That is why I banned you, because you're fucking annoying. I don't care.
Oops. Sold 25 million copies.
Here's another thing about Elden Ring, is that I understand that Queen Marika is not necessarily trans, but for a fantasy story, it's pretty goddamn fucking close, isn't it? It's really fucking close to that. And so, this is like the main character that the entire story is built around. Everybody loves the lore. Nobody's complaining about this. Nobody actually cares.
Yeah, that's because everybody likes the game. Asmi, you are so close to figuring it out. I mean, if you weren't deliberately avoiding the truth. Okay? Look how he ignored what the guy just said about trans people and how he avoided talking about it. That's the plausible deniability he will use to avoid criticism. Yeah. I mean, he loves Grums. He loves that fucking lolly VTuber that he watches all the time. All those guys, if you just listen to Asmongold's commentary, you're like, wait a minute, I don't understand. It feels like Asmongold is not in support of any of the things that these guys are saying. But he very obviously is, okay? I'm not going to have Alyssa on stream right now. I hate when people literally fucking come into chat, you goddamn simps, okay? I hate when I'm like doing something and you fucking simps literally go, hey, can you have Alyssa on the stream right now? It is one of the most annoying things that you guys do, okay? Shut the fuck up. Oh my God. No, I've never asked for it. There has never been a moment where I've asked for this. I've never asked for your feedback, okay? Shut up, chatter. I have not asked for your feedback. Please, stop fucking backseating the stream. Oh my God. It's so annoying. Bro's getting heated over this? Yeah, it is not just this. It's because you guys do this every day. You do it literally every fucking day. You do it for everything. You're like, hey, you want to watch this fucking video? Guess what? Fuck you. I want you to watch this 8-hour theory video on developmentary Maoist Leninism, Marxist Leninist Maoism. We need to watch Maoist third worldism right now. Watch this video about the Khmer Rouge and about how Pol Pot was misunderstood. Stop it. You guys have been doing it all fucking day. God damn. That's it. It was my boiling point. I'm sorry. And this has nothing to do with Alyssa as well, by the way. Alyssa's great. Holy shit. Oh. Who the fuck is Alyssa? She is the gaming journalist from Kotaku that this freak is fucking shitting on.
Cares. Kind of, yes, exactly. Mikola is a female alter ego. Yes, this is it. This isn't something that people
really... The freak that Asmongold is watching. Andy Pants Gaming.
We give a shit about. Elden Ring is a great example. Consort, yes. So, promised consort Radon. What does that mean? Oh, jeez. Oh, fuck. What the... Oh, my God. Think about it.
At this point, making an offensive game seems to guarantee that game's success. We could talk about Stellar Blade, pissing off all of the liberal progressives, and yet everybody went out and bought it. Okay, so in
the Elden Ring article is a user review for some random forum that only had 4 votes in its poll and 3 comments. Yeah. And before people say, oh, well, you used the gaming not woke metric to say that like people thought Warhammer for 40K wasn't woke or whatever. Yeah, that one is unironically followed by a lot more gamers that we're talking about than this random fucking forum post. Most people understand that Elden Ring is not only a fantastic game, but yeah, it has like a bunch of queer visibility as well, which Asmongold also recognizes.
In the rest of this video, I want to give you 4 examples of a game or game series going from masculine to feminine or gay, and it basically either killed or ruined the franchise. Number 1, Ubisoft and Red Storm Entertainment. So
that'll be clipped to make it seem like you called Asmon a freak to perpetuate the drama. Yeah, no, I didn't call Asmon a freak. I called the video that he's watching, the creator of the video is watching a freak.
Red Storm Entertainment was a video game company founded by the legendary Tom Clancy to make Tom Clancy video games. He sold the company to Ubisoft in the year 2000, and Ubisoft in the 2000s actually had some balls and made some of the manliest games you've ever seen.
This guy loves balls way too much, dog. Oh my God, he just can't get the balls out of his head. He literally endlessly talks about balls. Like nonstop. That's all he talks about. Yeah, Ubisoft did have balls in the 2000s. Yeah.
There were the Splinter Cell games, the Ghost Recon games, the Rainbow Six games, and the Far Cry games.
Yeah.
All of these games pretty much feature exclusively men, and these IPs in the 2000s.
Like, how do you see this guy say this, Asmongold? How do you see this guy say this and not realize, like, this has got to be a joke, right? Is he being sarcastic? Like, this is literally the gayest thing anyone has ever said. I'm going to run this back. Hold on. I want to see what his reaction to this is.
2000s actually had some balls and made some of the manliest games you've ever seen. There were the Splinter Cell games, the Ghost Recon games, the Rainbow Six games, and the Far Cry games.
Yeah.
All of these games pretty much feature exclusively men, and these IPs in the 2000s had so much testosterone, just a single glance from a woman in their direction would get her pregnant. I mean, motherfucking Sam Fisher.
The games were way more masculine back then. This is absolutely true. Yeah.
Y'all are gay as fuck, dog! Stop! Oh my God! I can't do this! I fucking love Sam Fisher. I love Splinter Cell, okay? I love Splinter Cell. It was an amazing game. I played that shit in my fucking Gateway FX gaming laptop. Because before I went to college, I was a virgin, and I had a gaming laptop, okay? And then I lost my virginity, and then I mostly just kept a console gaming after that. But that's besides the point, okay? The point is that there are still the exact same fucking games that these guys are talking about that exist right now, okay? Like, the idea that, like, games are fucking gay now because they don't have sexy men that I want to suck and fuck is ridiculous, okay? No, the exact same games you're pointing to still exist, with the exception of Splinter Cell, unfortunately. I wish it did. But, like, how many fucking milsims are out there? It is unironically it's Arma, but advanced now. Like, there are so many fucking milsims. What are you guys talking about? I feel like I shouldn't be, as a political commentator, I should not be the guy who is correcting the record about these dudes talking about gaming. I don't understand. I don't understand how these guys are like, yeah, games are so gay nowadays. There's no shooters. Are you fucking stupid? Do you really think there aren't, like, the same exact games that you're pointing to right now? Like, they point to Call of Duty and they point to fucking Rainbow Six, and they're like, yeah, you know, these games don't exist anymore because they're too masculine. They're no longer masculine. And I'm like, the same game just came out. There's literally, it's the same exact, Rainbow Six still exists and Call of Duty still fucking exists. What are you talking about? And on top of that, there's like a million different shooters that also exist. And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. I'm not even saying like I have an issue with them existing. But on top of that, there's also a shit ton of fucking milsims out there too. Yeah, Tarkov, Gray Zone, Arma, DayZ, Desert Storm, the fucking 6 Days in Fallujah game or whatever, the war crime simulator that came out. I feel like there are an endless amount of video games out there that are just as quote-unquote masculine as these games, or even more. Stalker 2 just came out. The 3 lights on Sam's goggles were the 3 genders that Joe Biden was talking about? Yes. Sam Fisher.
They were guy games made for guys. Absolutely. It's not even a question.
Dude, you're out of your mind. Probably because you don't fucking play FPS games. What are you saying? Like, how am I more knowledgeable about the fucking gaming industry now than Asmongold? Who is the real gamer here? What the fuck? Does this guy unironically think that there are not enough FPS games out there? That's all we have for the most part. Ready or Not, which was obviously a little too difficult for me to play, but I played it a little bit. Like, I play FPS games, as you guys know. I just, maybe Asmon is the political commentator and I am the gaming commentator now. Fuck it. Helldivers.
On. The dude is the ultimate Giga Chad. Scott Mitchell in Ghost Recon. Now, you pick your own character in Far Cry 2, but it's definitely a manly game that will put hair on your chest. So what is Red Storm Entertainment up to today? Well, I recently saw that Tom Clancy's The Division Heartland is being led by a man who dresses in women's clothes in his free time. Now, look, I don't give a shit if you want to identify as a dragon and go around laying magic eggs, but can we agree that the least masculine thing on earth you can do is dress in women's clothes? Tom Clancy would be...
I really don't give a fuck about that, to be honest with you. I don't care. Like, what you want to do with your personal life is up to you. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Just don't put your worldview into a game in a way that's not representative.
What? Like, no, I think there's something less masculine than wearing a dress as a dude, okay? And I say this as a dude who's worn a maid outfit. I say this as a dude who has worn a dress. I say this as a dude who's even painted his fingernails. Let me tell you what's less masculine than a dude wearing a dress, okay? Whining about fucking video games, okay? Whining about how video games don't have fuckable, sexy hunks as the lead characters, even though there are a million variants of that exact same thing that you're whining seemingly doesn't exist. They do exist. That is infinitely less masculine than a dude wearing a fucking dress, okay? What the fuck? This is what I was talking about with Ben Shapiro back in the day. Like, I think a lot of people that look like Ben Shapiro genuinely think that if you say, like, right-wing things, that you appear more masculine. Like, there's this false association of masculinity and being right-wing. And I'm sure that a part of that is because of the misunderstanding of like what toxic masculinity is or whatever they perceive the social justice warriors is doing for like the last decade or so. But like, that's not how this works, okay? That's not how this works. That's why no matter how many quarter pounder videos you watch and quarter pounder tries to say like, I'm a pussy or a soy boy beta cuck, you know, the average person is not going to look at me and then look at quarter pounder and go, yeah, I'm the soy boy beta cuck. Okay. Like people still have eyes and brains and can fucking perceive things. All right. Yeah. Look, Mr. Alpha Dog right here. Some real Giga Chads. That's why the dude making this video is not posting a photo of himself and his buddies as the true gamers, but instead consistently posting a fucking photo of a bunch of goddamn quarterbacks from 2009, okay? There's a reason why he's not posting himself to be like, hey, guess what? You know, it's just me and the boys. I love thinking about how me and the boys love playing video games. This is what we look like.
That's the way I see it. Yeah, he does. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Like, there's plenty of people that are probably weird that make plenty of great games. Yeah, that's the way I see it. Absolutely. The issue is they do. Well, then that's the problem.
Rolling over in his grave right now if he knew the absolute disaster that Red Storm Entertainment had become. Number 2, Wolfenstein. So I was recently...
Yeah, this is what the dudes who are constantly talking about, like... dudes who are constantly talking about, like, me and the boys, we love playing masculine games. This is what they look like IRL, okay? r/Playboy Cardi mod meetup. Why does dude have a Hitler stash on the right? Well, it probably goes along with the fucking Sonnenrad that he has on his chest on the t-shirt that he's wearing, you know? He really wanted to put the outfit together. Also, why is Dr. Yakub a part of the 4chan meetup? Why is Dr. Yakub there? Dr. Yakub surrounded by his creation, feeling Dr. Yakub pictured here, conflicted about the invention of white people. Yeah, he's got a lot on his mind. Well, he's got plenty mind to have. Anyway.
Recently playing Wolfenstein The New Order for the...
Also, by the way, notice how he said Ubisoft has gone woke and then didn't actually present why the fucking game was actually gay now. Just said the lead dev is trans. Like, that's it. I don't even know if she's trans or not, but and it doesn't even fucking matter. But that's it. Like, why is Tom Clancy's Division Heartland woke? I don't know. He didn't actually mention anything. He didn't even say that this is like, this is a woke game or it's a good game or a bad game. He just said a trans person made it. Okay? That's it. Are you saying Ubisoft hasn't gone woke? I'm not even saying Ubisoft hasn't gone woke, okay? But if wokeness is your major problem with Ubisoft, well, then you got a lot of fucking... you really got to go back to the drawing board and reconsider your priorities, okay? It is pretty funny, however, to assume that in an industry filled to the brim with creative types and specifically coders, that you're not going to encounter a fucking trans person. Like, this dude is the most delusional person on the planet. Who the fuck do you think is making the video games? It's trans people, okay? I will go so far as to say that if there's an industry where trans people historically have been overrepresented, it's probably gaming. Like, you have to be the most delusional fucking moron. Look at the second chat message in the video. This is possibly the gayest video I've ever seen. One of Asmongold's chatters figured it out. Wait, I want to see if this person has ever been in here. What is it? Dyslexic. Oh, God. He wrote dyslexic so poorly. Yo. Oh, he is in here. He is in here. I love Kung Fu Panda. Why does it cut so fast? We used to do stuff like that as kids. I had a Chinese card and it was dog shit. Okay, well, you can't win them all, okay? Some of the takes he has are counter-revolutionary. Okay, I'm beginning to realize that the Asmongold's best chatters are still very much community members here as well. It is, you're right, Dyslexic. This is possibly the gayest video you've ever seen, because it is. I'm glad you recognized it.
I recently saw that Tom Clancy's The Division Heartland is being led by a man who identifies...
Okay, yeah, and then he just like does transphobia, which Asmongold pushes back on, to be fair.
That Red Storm Entertainment had become. Number 2, Wolfenstein.
By the way, I'm just gonna point to this once again. I'm just gonna, summarize that last point. He was like, I'm gonna give you examples as to why Tom Clancy has gone woke. And then he gave no example of the game itself and instead said the lead developer is trans. If that's your assessment, well, you're basically admitting you don't give a fuck about the game at all.
So I was recently playing Wolfenstein: The New Order for the first time, which came out in 2014. And I have to say, of all the games I was sure were going to avoid woke Western progressivism, this game was pretty high up there. The first 3 entries of the reboot were all fantastic. They had the badass BJ Blazkowicz, an absolute unit, as the main character, ripping apart entire armies of Nazis with the sexy and smart Anya as his arm candy and wife.
There ain't no way, bro. There ain't no way he's... Oh, my God. Oh, my God. He's like... I loved when the Nazi killing video game featured... just main characters that had Aryan features in them. I hate that the game that is like perhaps the most woke thing you can make a video game about, which is just like assassinating and executing Nazis, American Klansmen, and the like. That game actually is woke now. I hate that.
I played like one of these. It was like the first or second one,
which came out in 2014, 2015, and 2017, are all great. They have normal men and women doing normal shit in them. Awesome.
Okay.
But of course, the woke mob had to get involved somehow.
Well, let me guess. Is because there's black characters in the Nazi killing game, right? That's what he's gonna say.
Beloved series with a beloved, tough, male, manly main character. Do you suppose it's a good idea to kill off that guy and replace him with cringy girl boss characters?
Oh, God.
Wolfenstein Youngblood came out in 2019, and it's an...
What the fuck is this game? I don't even know what this game is.
Absolute tone-deaf disaster. So many modern video games, I find myself asking, who wanted this? Who asked for...
He must be mad about the spin-off with the twin girls that was a cash grab. Yeah, I didn't even know this game fucking existed. We don't talk about Youngblood. I played the game before this. I played the other Wolfenstein. I didn't even fucking realize that there was a... This is a really fun search. What is this? Oh, came out as woke. So sad when Caitlin Clark came out as woke. Apologies for white privilege. Disappointed many young girls, including ours. Okay, I'll look at that later. Youngblood was bad, but not because of the daughters. Ugh, this is everything the hideous left hates. I say the quiet part out loud. That's Ian Miles wrong, baby. This is everything the hideous left hates. I love jerking off the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, okay? And yeah, that's right. I fucking am unafraid to say it out loud. Yeah, 4 million views. Thank you. I'm so mad. I can't believe that there is a hot Dallas Cowboys cheerleader dancing in front of me. Ah! The woke left hates being horny. I, on the other hand, am brave and will tell you I am so fucking horny right now.
Bro, this shit drives me crazy. I'm sorry, but like I've really got to say, like that was so bad. Yeah, this game was so shit. Yeah, I think this does matter a lot. By the way, it does. Like, not even the girls wanted this. Yeah, this is the thing.
Yeah, this game was just bad. Women are not made to be leaders. Oh my God. Brilliant. Brilliant takes in the Asmongold chat. Everybody forgot about this game. I didn't even know this game fucking existed. Yeah. Hey guys. Hey, I wanna let you in on a secret. Okay? Sometimes developers make bad games. Sometimes developers make bad games and think, oh, if we put women as the main character, these guys will eat it up. They'll buy it. Okay? But the game is bad, so no one ends up buying it. That's it. It's not because the game is fucking woke. All right? It's just a bad game. There are plenty of games with female leads in them. Okay? Women are not meant to be leaders. Text mom asking if she can drive them to Maccas. I wonder if Duke Nukem Forever was woke. That was slop and was riddled with microtransactions. That's why it sucked.
Is like guys don't want to play like this is. They don't want to play as a girl in like a fucking war game, really. Like, unless it's.
I don't think that's the case. I genuinely don't think that is the case. I think people don't care this much, especially considering that Asmongold's favorite game of the year was fucking Stellar Blade. Maybe not his favorite game of the year. Does he have no object permanence in his commentary? Like, I don't understand. It just like. It truly feels like he just forgets all the other stuff that he's said in the past or in the future that he will inevitably say. In that moment, he's just like responding to the immediate content with whatever, like a chat bot almost. Like he's just like a collection of the reactionary takes that he's seeing in his chat and then like regurgitating back to them. You know what I mean? Like there's a fuck ton of video games that I suspect Asmongold has played and also enjoyed where there are female leads. Stellar Blade is one of the first ones that come to mind. Metroid is one of the most iconic games of all time. You're a girl the whole time. I know. The Asmon large language model. He'd say the difference is that Stellar Blade's MC is like hot in his perspective. Okay. Fair. But I don't think that these the main leads here are like, I don't know if they're not hot or not. I don't think that their hotness is the major point that Asmongold is making here. He didn't say that like, oh, well, people don't want to play these games because the leads are not hot. He's just simply saying, I don't think men want to play video games where the main lead is a female.
Like, I'm sorry, it does not work.
I don't want to play middle-aged women. I don't think these are the main leads, chatter. That'd be really funny. The main lead of the video game is just like a lady in a suit that actually gives you your entire job in this is to hand out missions to other characters.
Dude, it's cute. Yeah. Oh man, absolutely.
Yes. I often ask the same thing of the new Star Wars shows by Kathleen Kennedy as well. The Wolfenstein reboot had the perfect synergy of story and gameplay. You are BJ Blazkowicz unleashing his rage on the Nazis for killing everyone he loved. You see this.
Like, does this guy look at a game like Control and goes, oh, this sucks. The lead is a woman? Like, is that what it is? He's just like, oh, man, another game that's woke because the lead is a female. I want men. Sexy man. Stellar Blade only sold 1 million copies in 5 months despite being a good game, and it proves how wrong they are when they say it's what gamers want.
Has come across in his brutal assassinations, like sticking a rusty pipe through the eye socket of an SS Waffen commander. But the setup to Wolfenstein Youngblood is incredibly cringe. In it, you play as BJ's daughters, and they're honestly nothing like him.
Jesus, man. Jesus, you kidding?
Horizon Zero Dawn was a great example of this. The game was amazing, so their only negative is that the character wasn't hot enough. I mean, by the way, for the record, I think Horizon Zero Dawn unironically wasn't that good. And it had nothing to do with the character not being like fuckable or whatever, but I thought it was like too repetitive. Except it was still relatively successful. Like I'm pretty sure it was like, no, I know a lot of people like Horizon. It's very pretty. I think for me, I played the first game to completion. I loved it. I loved the first game. I thought the second one was like way too I thought it was just like a way too generic open world game that had too many repetitive elements in it. But most importantly, even though I really liked the first one. Wait, is first one the... Oh, you're talking about the first one. Oh, is Horizon Zero Dawn the first one? What was the second one called? Well, regardless, I really enjoyed the first one, but even then there was obviously a lot of like repetition in it, even though I still liked it. But the second game I actually didn't end up playing, or played only a little bit of, Forbidden West. And that's because at that point I was just like, this is an expansive open world. I've played this game already. I played the first game, and at least in the first game, the lore was like new and unique. And it's a massive franchise. Obviously, it sold a lot of copies. People still very much like it, but I thought it was too generic. Does that make sense? But even then, clearly, many people enjoyed it. A lot of people enjoyed it. It's kind of like a lot of the last couple of, like, maybe not the last couple of Marvel movies, but a shit ton of the Marvel movies in the past decade that I know is not for me, right? It's not for me, but it clearly is for someone. It's coming to a close now, where people are now finally bored, but I understand, you know? I say this as someone who grew up with the comics. I love the comics. It just, you know, it at a certain point, it just didn't feel as appealing to me as it does to many others. No, Brave New World was great. Yeah, I'm just saying it's not for me. And I'm not even talking about I'm not even talking about like the meme movies like Morbius or whatever the fuck. I'm talking about like even the main movies. Like, I did not enjoy Deadpool versus Wolverine. I actually stopped watching it midway through, which probably is like one of the better versions of that overall franchise. But again, it's just not appealing to me. And that's fine. I find that style of like self-referential humor and constantly being like, constantly breaking the fourth wall to be like kind of cringe. Was it too gay for you? Yeah, it was too woke for me. That's what it was. Or it was because I'm woke, it was too not woke for me. It was too anti-woke for me. Except I'm a normal fucking guy, so I don't make my assessments off of whatever some goddamn neckbeard is telling me is woke or not woke, okay? Oh, this movie is not woke enough. This movie is too woke. Shut the fuck up. Just watch the goddamn movie and tell me why you enjoyed it, okay? Like, what is happening here? This is just another way to explain to people why you don't enjoy something, but then you have to like moralize it. You know what I mean? You have to mask it under some kind of political assessment. It's so lame. It was lame when the fucking left, quote unquote, rad libs and quote unquote left was doing it as the social justice warriors. And it's still fucking, it's even lamer when the right wingers are doing it. The reactionary gamers are doing it. Holy shit. Oh, how do these people not realize that they have basically become the cartoonish depictions that they made of the left over and over again? But now they're just loving it. They're loving that. They're loving the space that they're occupying this way.
Kidding me?
Yesterday, you said you rarely talk about this. What, as far as like reactionary gamers? I do sometimes talk about reactionary gamers or reactionary politics within the gaming sector. And I think I should probably talk more about it because it's very clearly something that a lot of people are paying attention to and something that a lot of people are actually demanding more discourse on. It's just that most of that fucking discourse is firmly planted in the right.
Oh my God. Wow.
The first time you kill somebody, they don't really want to do it.
Who asked for this, man? It's crazy. Who the fuck wants this?
I don't think anybody, which is why the game fucking failed.
I think I slightly disagree. I think you should still make it appeal to men, but I think having a female lead could still work. But why would you do it?
What?
But why? Like, it does matter. Like, I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, dude, this is 26 minutes in, and Asmongold is now conflicted in his own opinions initially. Like, I'm so confused by this. Like, female leads sometimes work. Female leads in a shit game like this don't work. Not because they're female leads, but because the game is shit. That's it. Read my last message. Let's see. Keck W. You are clearly being insensitive to people with dissociative identity disorder. The asthma system's left wing and right wing alters are clearly clashing in this video.
It matters.
And when they finally kill the guy, they have to have lattes and talk about it afterwards. Youngblood is a perfect example of how a cutscene can go so wrong.
Obligatory token minority. This is so confusing to me, considering that, like, the gamers hated the black women that was heavily featured in the previous Wolfenstein game as well. But he said he liked the previous Wolfenstein game. But now he's saying it's an obligatory black minority or something, a token minority.
BJ's setup is perfect and explains to you why you're doing the actions you're doing. BJ's daughters, however, are acting like they're in an episode of
even as Chad's like, nobody would care if this game was good.
Bang Theory the whole time. But, oh yeah, they just happen to be killing Nazis and haha, isn't this so funny?
I also think that there's a very big problem. And I have a shared responsibility in this problem. Is that people that are millennials, that are my age, my people, are some of the most unserious, inauthentic, painfully lame and boring groups of people that I have ever seen. It's so fucking surface level cringe. I can't even fucking believe it. Everything is sarcastic. Nothing is authentic. Nothing is genuine. There are always these like moments of brevity, like, oh, ha ha ha. It's not, there's nothing serious at all. It's just cringe. It's cringe and it's embarrassing. Zoomers don't even like them. They don't even like themselves. Yeah, that's why they're on fucking antidepressants. They're fucking crazy. They've got 6 different mental disorders in their profile picture. Yeah, they don't even like themselves. Nobody else likes them either. Of course not. I'll tell you one thing. One person that definitely didn't like them. Watch these fucking games and you'll know too. It's probably their fucking dad. Holy shit. These people are awful.
Tonally all over the place.
It's not the worst generation. It's the cringe generation.
And just so full of cringy and awful cinematics.
Yep.
Which is ironic because the cinematics in the first 3 games were like so good and short, and they got to the point and they were really emotional and impactful. Example number 3, Gears of War. For a full explanation.
It's like, who do you think was playing Gears of War? You want to know all my friends that I knew that were playing Gears of War? The coolest thing to them was like the Marines. You know, like, yeah, bro, like you go into Marines and you learn how to shoot a rifle, right? It's like, yeah, that's what it is. It's all guys. Like, I remember back growing up, like, I didn't know a single girl that liked fucking Gears of War. Not a single one.
Of how the woke mob girl bossed Gears of War. See my video on that game, but I'll keep this short. The first 3 Gears games are an incredible trilogy focusing on the bonds and brotherhood between men. They're incredibly masculine games, focusing on duty and sacrifice and military orders. And I know some of you hate this, but for 10,000 years, it's only been men fighting wars. Sorry.
It pretty much still is. Let's be honest.
The first 3 games focus on Marcus, Dom, Cole, and Baird and tell a masculine story of brotherhood. Well, the progressive woke mob somehow got to Gears of War, and Gears 4 and 5 are about sisterhood, motherhood, being a traitor, and what it feels like to be a woman.
Yeah, so like that's a story.
Is this something that happened? I'm a PS boy all day, every day. For most of my console consumption, I never even used a lot of like I didn't encounter a lot of Nintendo IP until recently or in the past when I had a Game Boy. So I never really played. I played the first Gears of War, I think when it came on PC, like years later. But I have no idea what happened to the franchise. So I don't know what he's talking about here. Tell me you had an Xbox 360? No. I didn't have a Xbox 360. They changed the format of the game completely. It's not the story, it's a totally different genre of game. Hello, little lady. Hello. Damn, so you never play Halo? The only time I play Halo was on PC, like recently when they came out with it on PC again. I did think the Gears of War characters looked really sick, though. The reason Gears of War only had male protags in the lore was because all the women in the world were used as birthing pods. Like, I thought that when I was younger, I thought they looked sick. They were fucking jacked. You know? They were sexy ass men.
Story that,
you know, like Fred Durst on TRT. Fred Durst on Anwar. With his fucking backwards cap and his disgusting facial hair. Yeah, chainsaw shotgun. I mean, that shit's cool for sure.
Like I don't really give a shit that much about that because like I can't really relate to that, and I don't really care. Like I want to play as like Marcus or Dom or Coltrane and kill these dudes. Right? Like that's what I want to do. That's it. Yeah, like that's the whole thing. Like that's, yeah, and it does.
Also, Gears of War 4 was a completely different game company. The first three were already written by Epic Gaming.
Does matter, by the way. It absolutely does matter. Let the market decide. They did. The player base is 99% males. To be fair, the brother thing was tiring. Really? Oh wow, it's so tiring. No, it's not. How many fucking what do you call it? What's the game or the movie? Fast and Furious. How many of them have they made? 100. They'll say that's misogynistic? Oh, to a certain degree, I'm sure it is. But at the end of the day, if you're a guy, it's going to be easier for you to relate to a guy. You're going to understand a guy's struggles more. You're going to be able to...
Yeah, dude. You're definitely going to be able to relate to the struggles of a fucking geared up gorilla like Cole or whatever the fuck his name is. You just admitted you don't understand it. You don't want to like join the Marine Corps. What are you talking about? This is literally unironically DEI. These people are just like these people are like, no, we just want like more white dudes that we can fantasize as being, and if I see a woman there, I'm gonna lose my shit. Also, Fast and the Furious had a bunch of cool female characters too. I don't really understand any of this stuff. I just don't give a shit. I only care if the game is good or not. So, you know, whether it's a female lead or a male lead does not change that dynamic for me even a little bit. The gangliest nerds talking about the Marines. Yeah.
You know, like just identify with them much more. That's just the way it is. Family. Yeah, exactly. The topic of brotherhood of men.
Yeah, I don't like that these guys are stealing Brawlic Valor again, by the way. I just want to point that out. I don't appreciate when gamers steal Brawlic Valor. I don't think that's appropriate, okay? And as a member of the Brawlic constituency, okay, I would say I like understanding the perspective of people who are not Brawlic. I want to play a gangly, wiry, nerdy guy in one of these fucking games, okay? I want to know what that looks like. I want to know what that feels like, okay? I want to understand that.
And fighting together goes back a millennia. Yeah, bro, like, these people, they think, like...
Yeah, what's it like? What's it like to not be able to bench 2 plates? You know what I mean? That's the different experience that I want to put my... self into. Bro wants to be a shonen lead.
Yeah, we made 3 video games. So like, you know that story of like the Odyssey and like all those, yeah, bro, it was played out. No, it wasn't. It's never gonna be played out. Keep doing it. Only a millennia. Yeah, it's been like this forever.
Introduced the character of Kate Diaz, who I don't think anybody gives a single fuck about. What they should have done is put Kate in a spin-off game, not a mainline Gears entry. But here's the problem, of course. Nobody would have bought it.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, Gears 4 and 5 are basically girl boss, feminist Gears of War.
The last one I played was 3.
Any masculine story about men is put on the back
I barely even played 3. I played 1 and 2 a lot.
Of course, the games include Baird and Marcus in them, but they're really on the back burner. And Gears is now about Kate Diaz, who I've never talked to a Gears fan even cares about. Yeah. Moving on, example number 4,
World of Warcraft,
Saints Row
please.
reboot.
Oh no,
Saints Row spent 10 years building up characters.
It's like,
dude, what, dude? If you're defending Saints Row at any point in time, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, once again, not an Xbox guy, never really played it, but I looked at it from afar as someone who loves Grand Theft Auto and played virtually every Rockstar game that ever came out. It just was always fucking awful. Like, it always just felt to me like Temu Grand Theft Auto.
I'm sorry, but if you have a guy right here that's looking like Constantine, or like this guy who he's sitting in a fucking, like a king chair, like he's Scarface with sunglasses on, you know, saluting in a fucking suit. You want to know who looks at a cover of a game like this and buys it? I'll tell you who. A 15-year-old guy. They see this right here. They see that right there. A 15-year-old guy. And by the way...
Wait, isn't he shitting on
35-year-old guys, in a lot of cases, are still 15-year-old guys. They say, oh, it's badass. Yeah, for sure. It's not like it's that much different.
Building up a very distinctive and edgy and male sense of humor.
Absolutely.
It's the kind of stuff you and the guys would laugh at.
Yeah.
Some of the recurring characters in Saints Row are Johnny Gat, Julius, Aisha, Shondi, and several others. In these games, the men are men and the women are women. Johnny is edgy and hilarious and always has a hot chick on his arm. The humor is crude and hilarious, and the Saints are always getting into trouble. So what went wrong with the reboot? Well, the woke 2022 reboot thought it was a good idea to kill off every single character from the old Saints Row games.
See, this is the problem that I think a lot of these people have, is that they write stories to... They write stories like they have something to prove. They write stories like they have to, like, put...
I really think these dudes just don't like games. I'm sorry. If you're fucking, like, if your argument about how this entire industry of gaming revolves around Saints Row as a fucking franchise and the last Wolfenstein game that I didn't even know fucking existed, or the other Gears reboots that I didn't even also know existed, when there is an entire sea of new and old IP that is still very much alive, then you just don't care about playing video games at all. Like, this is like talking about fucking where the video gaming industry is going towards because Just Cause came out. Or here's what the video games industry looks like now by looking at Just Cause, the series. Like, what? What are you saying? The fuck? You don't game either? Don't respect the Saints Row franchise? I've just never cared about the Saints Row franchise. Dog, if you're playing Saints Row for the main story and not the dildo guns, you're not a serious person. I'm sorry. Also, couldn't you always choose your character in Saints Row? It's like the people that keep bringing Concord and Dustborn into discussion. Yeah, it's just like identifying and isolating a random game that just was a genuine fucking... was genuinely disastrous. No marketing initiatives placed behind it that nobody even knew about. Turning around and being like, this is why gaming is dying at a time when, like, the gaming industry in terms of profit is like blowing the fuck up. Did you play Manhunt? I did.
Put it out there that they're not the same as something else. Like, it's like an ego thing for them.
I would say that the gaming scene has become dry in terms of content and good games and whatnot, but With that said, I don't think it has anything to do with gender or a specific game, or rather how the industry moved from not making a buck to now making multi-millions. I mean, I don't even think that that is fair. I think that there are just more games. And when there are more games, there are more shit games, as well as still very good games. I will, however, say that with some very notable exceptions, especially in the last couple of years, right? Back in the day, when a AAA title used to come out, it would take like 6-7 years for the second one to come out. And it was so single player focused. The greatest example I can give you in terms of money basically destroying a developer that was previously hailed as like the greatest, most successful, most important developer would be Rockstar. Okay. Rockstar, or even BioWare as well, that's another great example too, but Rockstar specifically used to make video games that were focused entirely on the most expansive, perfect single-player game you could get. Okay? But then Grand Theft Auto 5 came out and GTA Online came out. And then after that, they were like, all right, we'll keep making some good games. Red Dead, obviously. Red Dead 2 is fantastic. Yeah, Take-Two and Rockstar. But Grand Theft Auto Online basically cooked it. So now we just have Grand Theft Auto 5 over and over again and GTA Online for the last 10 fucking years. Is AAA like a really good game or a company? No, AAA games are like the most expensive to produce, the big budget games. It's just about the budget. BioWare is another great example. From Jade Empire all the way to the KOTOR series, with some exceptions, I played every fucking BioWare game when they came out. I was a ride or die BioWare stan. I'm telling you, Jade Empire, okay? That's a name you probably haven't fucking heard in years, or probably didn't even know existed. Look at BioWare now. Bethesda, another great example, okay? I was a ride or die. When I played Morrowind, I'm like, there's a couple games that changed my life. Okay, I will tell you right now, as a young gamer, a couple games that changed my life. Morrowind, okay? I just could not understand how a video game universe could be so expansive, okay? Another game that changed my life was Freelancer, obviously. Another game that changed my life was Grand Theft Auto 3, okay? And Metal Gear Solid 2. For many different reasons, okay? And also, Knights of the Old Republic. So those, I would say, are like the 5 games that truly, in terms of art, in terms of like its significance in my development, those are the 5 games that I would say were life-changing for me, okay? Dota also was life-changing, but in a bad way. That's why I never play MOBA games. So virtually all of the companies that made those games are now notorious for example, bullying talent, like Konami, and kicking them out, pushing them aside, okay? Or obviously Freelancer is now, what is it called? Star Chaser or whatever. It's like a cash grab that's never gonna be released ever again. What, Star Citizen? Sorry, I don't even know what it's called. I didn't even know that it was the people that made Freelancer. Initially, okay? Shart Citizen, scam Citizen. In terms of KOTOR, obviously look at KOTOR was BioWare, right? Look at where BioWare is now. It's just nowhere near as focused on like making like cool story focused video games. It's not because they went woke. A lot of these companies just went public. Okay, a lot of these companies got bought out. There were major mergers and acquisitions, mass layoffs, and they went public. It was capitalism that ruined these companies and the artistic vision that they once had. Rockstar and Take-Two was another great example of this, like I said, with Grand Theft Auto Online. That's the issue. That's the real issue. Having said that, however, there are still fantastic games that come out, and there are still developers that work to make great games. Okay. I think CD Projekt Red is a great example of a newer developer that still makes incredible games overall. And even then they had some significant issues with Cyberpunk, and it wasn't because Cyberpunk was woke, but it was because of crunch, and it was because of trying to make their investors happy. You got From Software, obviously, still making banger after banger. Okay. So there are still great developers out there, and there are still great games out there. Like, so when people say like gaming as an entire sector is like fucking cooked, I disagree. I completely disagree. And I also think that the new meta is going to be Chinese developers. I think that's going to be the new wave as they pick up the all of these like incredibly talented devs that are getting fucking laid off and treated like shit in American companies. But those are the real issues. Nope, Black Myth sucked. Well, that's just a wrong opinion. You're wrong. You can have that opinion, but you're wrong.
Like The Witcher, right? Like any of these other series where like they try to, it's like, I'm trying to think of a good way to put this that works. Like what they did with Lord of the Rings? Yeah. So like anti-art? That's a good way to say anti-art, yeah. Asmongold
hasn't played any of these games talking about, The Witcher 3 included. He didn't play Witcher 3? That's crazy.
It's like they're written by people who wish that everything that their parents told them growing up wasn't true.
He has, right?
It's like it's written by a person who hasn't mentally progressed past 14 years old. This isn't your grandpa's. Yeah, exactly, right? Like they're writing it and they're telling the story in a way to, it's not about telling a good story. It's about validating themselves. I think that's probably a good way to say it, is that it feels like they're telling the stories for themselves and rather than for the audience. Whereas I think in a lot of cases, the stories are told for themselves as well, right? Whether it's Lord of the Rings or anything else, it was for the author, but that wasn't the only thing it was for. The problem is they can't make something new. Well, they did. They tried to make Concord, remember? That did really well. Or Flintlock. How about that?
And I guess they thought we would be cool with that?
Yeah.
But don't worry, all of the beloved characters you've come to know and love have been replaced with tokenistic characters from a literal seminar on diversity.
And that's the problem right there. It's that it's all caricatures. And that's what I find to be so disrespectful about it.
Yeah, I don't understand why Saints Row has cartoonish depictions of people. You know, my favorite game, Saints Row the franchise, which was always very serious and told a very serious story. This very serious game. Like, I didn't play Saints Row, but even I know it's not supposed to be fucking serious. That's why I made a comparison to Just Cause, which is at least a Saints Row type game that I did fucking play.
Is that the characters have to exist in some sort of oppositional existence of existing type of like gender or like racial stereotypes. It's insulting. Yeah, it is.
Also, you can't glaze Gears of War, okay, and say you love the way those men look in Gears of War, okay, which is also a caricature in terms of what people look like. Okay, and then turn around and say, I hate this caricature. Like, what are you talking about? You also don't want hyper-realism anyway.
It's very obnoxious. And again, like, I think a lot of the people that do this are the people that, you know, if like they're you know, like driving in like a middle-class area of town, they lock their doors, right? It's just, it's so performative that it's just, I think it's gross, honestly. It's very gross. Such a weird time. It really is. It's a very weird time.
You've got the gay Asian man, the girl boss lesbian, another girl boss lesbian, and the gay black guy. The LGBTQ mafia didn't just kill
And this is like the thing, right? Is that not all...
Asmongold is giving a voice to the voiceless. Yeah, I think they should remain voiceless. If this is what they're gonna use their voice on, they should probably remain voiceless. I'm gonna be honest. It's better. It's better if they stay voiceless, dog.
All gay guys dress and act like this.
Yeah, like, what is this argument? Asmon, that's not what he's saying. You're not this dense, man. He's not saying, oh, I hate the depictions of gay people. It's so one note, okay? He's not saying that. The guy you're reacting to is not saying that. He's saying gay people ruin this franchise by putting gay and woke. You're acting like that's the point that he's making. It almost sounds like fucking Alex Jones talking to Kanye West being like, no, you don't mean the Jews are bad, right? And if Kanye keeps saying, nah, he loves Adolf Hitler. Like, he keeps repeating that he loves Adolf Hitler. And Alex Jones is like, no, you just mean like, you hate woke, right? Come on, Kanye. Like, Asmon only wants gay representation like Willem Dafoe and Boondock Saints. This entire react comes across like Asmon talking to a YouTube video that can't even fucking react back to him as, yeah, you just like the uniforms, right? And the video keeps saying, no, it's Adolf Hitler that the video likes. This is an analogy. I am not making, I'm not saying that is what's going on in the video, just for all the people who don't understand what I'm saying here.
There's plenty of gay guys that do and plenty that don't. It's not like you can look and inspect somebody and look at them and be like, gay, I know he's gay. That's not how it works. It's a stereotype. Jesus, a gaydar. Yeah, there you go. Yes, I can. For sure, man.
Saints Row, they crucified it on a rainbow flag. And this is what you get, guys.
Yeah,
this is what you fuckers get for supporting these people. They turn out shitty games that aren't funny, that aren't cool, that aren't masculine.
That's another big thing. They're not cool and they're not funny. Minus the masculine.
Okay, I don't care about Saints Row at all. I don't know why they're fucking talking about Saints Row. How is Saints Row reflective about like the rest of the gaming industry? This guy's argument is so fucking stupid. Oh my god.
Manly men. You will see sales, bro, dudes, hot chicks in games again in manly men.
Also, the fucking hilarity that he keeps repeating, like Duke Nukem as a positive. Duke Nukem is a parody of everything that this guy is wanting out of video games. That's number one. Number two, Duke Nukem Forever became a fucking meme. I'm old enough to give you some background and lore, but Duke Nukem Forever took literally forever to create, and it flopped because by the time it came out, it was so old, and that it basically appealed to no one. So the game that he wants, the game that he desperately points to as like a sick brawlic game, virtually nobody fucking played because it took like a decade plus to make, and it sucked.
And you will see sales go through back the glory days of video games. I have this theory that in a few years we're going to see a turn back to the golden era of video games. And
we already have these games, these exact same games that you're pointing to. So your dumbass is going to turn around and be like, "See, I told you, games are fucking not woke anymore." By pointing to existing franchises. That's it.
Absolutely will, by the way. If you actually think that any of the executives that work at these companies genuinely care about any sort of group of people other than money, you are very sorely mistaken.
Yeah, of course they only care about money. Yes.
It's already starting to happen. Yeah, it's already starting to happen.
People are going to start buying.
Yeah, this shit is completely cherry-picked. If you need to reach over Elden Ring, Baldur's Gate 3, and Metal Gear and grab the 36th Saints Row or Wolfenstein game to make your point, you're not serious. Yeah, precisely. This is a deeply unserious way to approach the entirety of the gaming industry, which is, in the years that he is looking at, grown to an unimaginable degree, okay? There is so much garbage out there, and there's so much great stuff out there as well for everybody at this point. That's part of the... Does that just prove his point entirely wrong? Yeah, I feel like it does, but I don't get it. Maybe it's because these guys don't play any of the sports games or whatever. Maybe that's why. Which is ironic because the sports franchises both undermine their point about the gaming industry being DEI focused, but also completely destroy the other side of it, which is that it's literally regurgitated slop that gets worse and worse year over year because people keep buying the garbage no matter what. So if they were to take a look at the franchise games like Madden and 2K and whatnot, they would realize that it is a perfect demonstration of what the massive developers actually care about, money, okay? And also they don't have any fucking DEI in it at all. There's no woke in those franchises. They're the most successful ones. They're the ones that, you know, that people purchase nonstop. FIFA is a casino for kids. Yeah. These people don't play games. The people talking about AC Shadows daily never touched an AC game. Asmon included has even said so. I mean, I played the first Assassin's Creed game to completion, and I really liked it. And I didn't play any of the other ones like to completion at all after that. And I know that there's a couple in there in the franchise that was really good. Okay, there's a couple that I've actually played and enjoyed as well, but never really finished them, right? I didn't finish them because like, while I enjoy it, it's just far too expansive and in certain instances repetitive, but clearly people fucking like them. Try Valhalla. I did on stream. I got sponsored for Valhalla.
Games again. I recently saw this.
I'm also very excited to play the Yasuke game too, by the way. The Assassin's Creed Japan is going to be good.
Crazy chart from 2023 that basically showed that people are only playing old games these days. Nobody wants to play anything that's new out right now because it's all woke and it all sucks so bad. So anyway, guys, let's all hope there's a...
Wait, in 2023 went to 6-year-old... No, this literally shows the opposite of what you were talking about. It shows that people are consuming garbage, and that live service garbage is actually infinitely more popular and also makes infinitely more money. It's not because of woke. It's because this is what the developers know the audience of gamers demand. We like the fucking slop. Also, video games that came out 6 years ago were still woke.
It's new out right now because it's all woke and it all sucks so bad. So anyway, guys, let's all hope there's a return of masculine characters in games again at some point that we can relate to. All right, I'm out.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, Fortnite is quote unquote woke.
He's right about that. And I've gotten in a lot of trouble over the years of saying that gender is like a huge barrier of relatability that is not overcomable by any sort of real like storytelling. Like, you're not really going to be able to relate to a girl in the same way that you can relate to a guy because your gender and the way that you grew up as a man or a woman.
Yeah, there's data to point that this is also ridiculous. Like, female leads in video games has increased. Ban me, Hasan, you're a psychotic, self-absorbed loser. Okay. Of course, Hasan has Asmon up. Lol. All right. I don't know why you got so mad. I'm not going to ban you, though. I hope you're all right, man. Asmongold talked a ton about the new Intergalactic by Naughty Dog, and he has never touched a Naughty Dog game. His own words, lol. It's all fake clickbait raging. Yeah, Naughty Dog makes some pretty decent games. I don't even agree with the politics of the fucking main guy that makes the games. Having said that, however, I really appreciated Last of Us and Last of Us 2 as well. I thought it was great. I mean, damn it, heart.
Completely shaped.
Yeah, I played the Uncharted series. I think that the new game looks very cool. I think it's going to be awesome.
It's your entire experience of life. And I think that if you try to ignore that, and that's why, for example, like a lot of streamers on Twitch, very few popular streamers are female. But like on YouTube, there are a lot of popular streamers that are female and content creators. And do you know why? It's because YouTube has a actual like large female audience and Twitch doesn't. You want to know who's most people at Twitch are? Guys. They're mostly guys. And who do guys relate to? They relate to other guys. And you know who the kind of guys they relate to are? The kind of guys that look and act like they do. That's right.
That's right, chat. That's why there's a community of fucking chads.
And so
I do think that Sam Fisher's face right next to Asmongold is pretty funny, as he's like, yeah, you know, these are the guys I relate to. I'm actually doing stealth when I never leave my house unless it's to go get Whataburger. Yeah.
So guess what? There's exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's literally that simple. Man, how many people are going with the woke stuff? Well, I don't know. I think Arcane's the best example of how woke is not an end all and be all. No, it's not. And I think that it also goes back to what I said about Dion and other characters like that, right? Is that there's the video right there. You can see, like, it's actually crazy. This guy, bro, this guy just said it. Like, every single thing that you're not supposed to say, he used that as a checklist. Like,
yeah, at the end of the day, it just unironically comes back to, oh, he's saying the quiet part out loud. Oh man, these are all really sacred things that you're not supposed to touch. It's ridiculous, okay? It's a lot of people say this shit, okay? Asmongold being one of them, partially saying it by watching the video and agreeing with it. It's hilarious for Asmon to only say only guys like other guys on Twitch when Keizo's community is like only 27% female. Yeah, this actually makes sense for the record. This totally makes sense. I absolutely get why Keizo has a massive female fan base. And it's also partially the reason why I really like Keizo. And I think he's a great content creator, because if you notice the way he does like gaming, I suspect that they're also very young, right? I'm actually kind of shocked that it's like 21 to 25 and that it's only 14 to 17 is only like 17% of his audience. He's very nice. That's it. It's literally that simple. He's not a piece of shit. It is that easy to develop a ginormous female fan base. He's cozy. He plays cozy games, and he's also incredibly nice. That's it. That's it. Isn't that also a good defense for DI as well, though? We relate to characters that have similar characteristics to us. Yeah, I mean, that undermines his entire position that, like, women have been playing video games with male leads in perpetuity, and now that there are more women that play video games, it's understandable that there would be more female leads, but I don't think anybody really fully cares about that. I don't think anybody fully cares about that. I think people just want to play good games. He critiqued you and said streaming is not a real job when you say streaming was difficult. I agree with him. Streaming is not a real job, and I don't think streaming is ultimately difficult. I think that there's like stalkers and shit that make it difficult, but obviously that was not the point that I was making at all, and that was misconstrued. Also, I think the real critique that Queso had of me wasn't that, but it was the fact that I actually am a Diet Mountain Dew consumer, and he, as a fake big boy, does not appreciate the nectar of the gods. But yeah, so you're saying he critiqued a statement that I don't believe. Yeah, the real drama between me and Queso is that he's actually not a real big boy. But yeah, I really like Queso. I think he is a great example of how a content creator can just like stay in their own lane and do amazing work and be an entertainer through and through, and just basically be nice, which is weird because it's almost it's a breath of fresh air to see a content creator that is just simply nice. I don't know how else to explain it. It's weird. How does one lie about their weight? Yeah, he's a fake big boy. This is why people love Queso, is the vibe. Kitsy. That's a beautiful cat. I don't get people who are so unapologetically mean and bigoted. I don't get it. I could never. I get it. There are a lot of people online that think that that is the only expression of truth. That, like, these people are actually based. Asmongold is literally fucking looking at a dude who is just simply mean and bigoted and also wrong in very significant ways and going, he's just kind of, yeah, he's saying the quiet part out loud. That is basically it. For many of these content creators that are like constantly For many of these content creators that are constantly engaging in drama, which ironically a lot of people will say that about me too, but it's fine. I don't really give a shit. And consistently presenting themselves as like maintaining vices, like vice signaling, in the way that a lot of people say virtue signaling. Like these guys are simply vice signaling. They do that because a lot of younger men, especially that are trying to find themselves in the world and find who they are, think that like being edgy like that, or just like purely being mean for the sake of being mean and being a fucking bully for the sake of being a bully, is actually somewhat reflective of the true values that everyone holds on to, you know? That's why a lot of people say, oh, it's authentic. That's why so many people fucking hate like me and Pokimane, right? Like they always say like, oh, Hasan and Pokimane, they're so fake. They can't possibly believe the things that they're talking about, and they're simply faking it. Like it's not even like, it doesn't even register as like a honest position. It must be fake. But yeah, it's a sense of superiority. Low self-esteem ass guys can feel constantly wrong, constantly like they're not good enough. And so they gravitate towards these guys because for once in their lives, they feel like they're on top, neat shit or whatever. Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of these people offer them a sense of escape by dominating their enemies, and they think it's like their enemies. If you're at work, it's basically like all the anti-DEI shit basically is you just hate sitting through a fucking HR meeting, okay? You hate sitting through an HR meeting. So all of the conversations about DEI is just simply reminding you of being, if you're a kid, you hate your teacher or your principal. You hate getting a talk from an adult figure in your life about what you can and can't say. That translates to HR in your place of work. Okay? So that's where all this like resentment towards DEI